You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Bino, Jeff Henderson, what is your level of fired up focusedness and preparedness as we're live today at Calhoun's on the river? Get out, eat some lunch, talk some sports with us, Steve Russell. It is a great day to be alive and well with you. Tennessee and Alabama tomorrow, capping off a week in the Southeastern Conference, where, as Brian Hartman points out at tclub.team today, and by the way, Matt Dixon's full report over at tclub.team today is unbelievable, Andy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But, I mean, this ain't no corn dog of a weekend, Bino. This is for real. Don't try this at home. This ain't no corn dog. This ain't no corn dog schedule, okay? This is filet mignon from over at the commissary, cut up by the USDA butchers, put right on your plate here at Calhoun's. This is going to be this weekend. This is so fun. This college football thing, man, it's I don't know about you. I'm an old head. This thing's rejuvenated me, man. I find myself more and more and more and more looking forward to these college football weekends as the season's gone along.
Yeah, I agree, Tony. The increase in parity.
Yep.
It's freshened up the sport without question.
I was on with a guy named Ryan Fowler who does a show in Tuscaloosa over the weekend. He's a great guy. And, you know, he had me on to talk about the Tennessee-Alabama game, and we spent 3/4 of that conversation talking about other stuff from the SEC, these games, these matchups, the implications of if Vanderbilt takes down LSU tomorrow, what's going to happen to everybody's favorite uncle, Brian Kelly. How many people you think listen to the sound of my voice when they think of Brian Kelly think a good positive thought and like the guy. How many people? What do you think that percentage is?
3.
3%.
No, 3 people.
Bino! It's unbelievable! All right, Beanstar. So Hughie's going to join us on the other side. Presented by our friends at Gufon Moving and Storage. Woot, woot, woot. Vol fan. Welcome in. How you all doing? Look at that young fan. Look at those young guys there.
Man, is that
Look
fantastic.
at them. That's awesome. You guys look great.
They're ready.
I said it's great. Ha, ha, do, be, hee, hee. And so here we are, Bino. Another Alabama game.
Yeah.
I just find this to be, let's just call this what it is, okay? We live in a sports world where a lot of things are manufactured. You don't have to manufacture this thing.
No. This is perfect, Tony. This is perfect.
Yep.
In every aspect. It's the right time of year. It's beautiful. It's the game's traditional. It doesn't matter what either team has. It gives you it gives you a good feeling when it's Tennessee and Alabama. I don't know how we already got here, but it gives you a good feeling to be here.
Yeah, I agree with that. So last night, winners and losers, which will be up next, I put, which will surprise you, on our heading for, as we were making our recording last night, I put week 7. Laura says to me, hey, Tony, it's week 8. Is it week 8 already in college football?
Week 8, yeah. That's
Are
what I'm
you
saying. I'm
kidding me?
not sure how we got here, but we're here.
All right, Bino, right now, people have been asking me all week. I was out sitting in the park yesterday playing music, and the great Kirk Gibson walked up to me, and he said, what do you think about Saturday? I said, I want to talk shop. I big timed him. No, I'm just kidding. I said, Kurt, I said, you know, I feel good about this game tomorrow night, but not good enough. I feel good about it. I believe in the Vols. I don't know if I believe enough. I believe in them. I believe this is a gettable game tomorrow night. I really do. How many people do you think I speak for that are listening to the sound of my voice, the thousands all around the world today, that kind of feel the same way, feel good about it? I think the Vols are going to play a good game. I think it's going to be a close game late. I think it's winnable. It's a very winnable game. I don't think Alabama's great. I think they're the best team in the league. I've thought that all year, even with the start A&M's had. I feel good about tomorrow, Bino, just not good enough. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the way. I'll put that one at 97%. I've been trying to figure out the way to express how I feel about this game coming up. And I think the best way to say it is I don't expect to win. We've lost 10 straight down there.
Yep.
They're more solid than us in more areas of their football team. But I also no longer expect to lose. I don't expect to lose down there. I go in with hopes. Our program's gotten the point. I go in with hopes every year against everyone.
And that's what this coach and their robust NIL program has done. They've got Tennessee's got a roster full of. I mean, look, Joey Aguilar is making about $1 million a year. They got a roster full of guys that are well paid. They get some wide receivers on the team that are well compensated. McCoy's a guy who's, he's probably not going to play tomorrow. I mean, he's not going to play, but it's fun to think about. Who knows? Maybe you bite on. Did you see the latest injury report on him? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, the one I saw was the first one that came out on Wednesday, and they had him out.
Oh, out. Yeah. So I hadn't even looked at it, to be honest with you. Caught myself on the air there. And the reason I hadn't looked at it is that my assumption has been that when you work out the week before last and your knee really swells up and you have knee pain, it's going to be too soon to see you. So I hadn't even looked into the McCoy thing this week. obviously, Heupel tells us that our Deshaun Bishop, that's important tomorrow.
Yes.
For Deshaun Bishop to be able to play in that game. And the one thing we've seen from our other backs is we have a deal where each guy each week looks like the better back on the field, which in a lot of ways is almost an ideal thing.
Yeah.
It's almost an ideal thing.
Yeah. It's I like the running back core. I like them. I like using them together. Go with a hot hand. That's what we did the other day. I think Bishop is probably the best runner and protector.
Yes.
I think that Star Thomas gives you that variety that you need in a back. And I think Peyton Lewis is a power guy that's got some breakaway in him too. So, just continue to use them while you're using them. Go with a hot hand.
So here we are. It is now I am going to put an APB out to Josh, Big Josh. Josh's task today is to rally the troops. Monday we had whiny Josh. No offense to you, Josh. You're bigger than I am. My legs are growing out of your arm socket and all that stuff. But, Josh, don't let that fool you. I could still whip you, big boy. If you want some of this, you come on up here on the bandstand and come get you some.
He'd kill you.
In broad daylight, right in front of these kids. And I'd show these kids a lesson or two about pugilism. That said, lovely Laura's on the board today. Brian Hartman in absentia sends his regards to one and all. When we come back, Mike Hugan and Joins presented by our friends at Gufon Moving and Storage. And then coming up, you better bow thy head when you say thy name. It's a debut of a new segment on here. Dale Jones is going to break the film down for us.
Wow. How sweet is that?
Dale Jones will be on at noon today, breaking the film down. He says, let's launch this thing on the Tennessee Bama Week. And Bino, how did that come about? Did we suggest that to him last week, or did he suggest that to us, Bino?
He actually suggested that, Tony.
I mean, is it fun to be blessed, or is it fun to be blessed?
I mean, you said, hey, I'd like to do some things with you, and he already had it planned.
So Cole's out here today. We got the full band. Everybody's in the mix and in the hunt. Come on out. We got great servers here to take care of you. Tremendous service. The food is fresh. Come eat with us. Eat some lunch, talk some sports. You've never let me down. The Fighting Chapmans of Cott County look like they're going to be here as Sir Walter is setting up his beachhead. Hey, sir, where do I get a hat like that, Sir Walter? Where'd you find that? Illumini Hall, he said.
Beautiful.
I got to get me one of those. Come here, Walt. Let me try that on. As we take a brief time out and come back with more Mike Hugan and on the other side as we continue right after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's Calhoun's has lots of side dishes, like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Guffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Guffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Guffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Guffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Guffon.com. That's Guffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Guffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new, high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. William and Henry Bino are here to see us. William comes all the way from Tampa today, and William will not talk to me, but he will by the end of today's show because I just bribed him. I told William straight up, I said, William, I've got for you, my good friend, I've got an ice cream sundae, Bino.
Oh, outstanding.
And that young man looked at me and smiled and thought, you know what? You ain't too bad. And he's from Tampa, by the way. And if you'll notice, he's taken his chair, Bino, and moved out into the sun. He's out in the sun. He wants to,
I understand.
But they're visiting from Tampa this weekend.
Welcome in.
Hugie Bear knows a thing or two about Tampa. Hugie, how we doing, my brother?
Doing quite well.
Hugie, you're presented by our friends at Gufon Moving and Storage. Hugie, as I do with you each week, it is a family tradition here in our dysfunctional radio family. Grade the card for us, Mike Huganen.
Oh, this is easily an A weekend. This is a lot of really good games and some under-the-radar games that are very important. So I think this is a Saturday where you get in your recliner or whatever at 11:50 and you don't get up from that recliner until about 2 a.m.
Each weekend we've been, in the last couple of weeks on our Thursday show with C&T, GMD, and Bry, we've been doing tiers, playoff tiers, and sort of updating them. Coming into this week, Hugie, we think that Michigan and USC are in a stay-alive sort of play-in game of sorts tomorrow. Your thoughts on that one as we start in the other league before we get to the great stuff going on in the SEC?
But USC can not only, I think, cement themselves as a legit contender, they can take Notre Dame out of the mix tomorrow. They're at Notre Dame tomorrow night. A long-time rivalry, obviously, and one that might not last. But SC looked good last week against Michigan. They ran all over them, which was interesting. Notre Dame's defense has had some issues this year, but I don't know if the USC defense is all that good. I think the USC-Notre Dame game tomorrow night is going to be a high-scoring affair. Michigan, I think, is off tomorrow.
Hugie,
yeah, you're right.
Just to kind of emphasize the new age we live in with the extended parity. Tomorrow, we've got LSU rolling into Nashville.
Actually, no, Michigan's playing Washington. I'm sorry, that's an important game for both those teams. Washington's got the exciting quarterback. Michigan's got the exciting quarterback. The difference, Washington has a staff that understands that the idea is to score and score as much as you can. Michigan's offensive staff seems sort of set in its 1970s ways. We need to run the ball. We need to run the ball and burn clock, and everything is going to be fine. So if Washington wins tomorrow, I think Michigan's out of the playoff hunt for sure.
Last week, Hugie, we see Indiana roll out there and somehow beat Oregon, and this week you've got Vanderbilt at home favored over LSU, and you've got a Duke team favored over Georgia Tech, who I thought coming in was up toward the very top of the ACC. So it's just a new world we've
yeah, the idea that a LSU team that's lost once and I think is number 10 in the country or something is a road dog at Vandy. I can't remember, when's the last time Vanderbilt, someone told me that this is the first time Vanderbilt has been a SEC favorite in 178 games, which I don't think that's right, but it is a sign of the times that Vanderbilt's favored over a LSU team with one loss, and it's ranked extremely highly, and no one bats an eye because this Vanderbilt team is a little bit different. Though I would argue also that Vanderbilt last week had all sorts of problems moving the ball against Alabama. I think LSU's defense is a good one. I think the problem with LSU, ironically, is that the offense with the supposed Heisman guy at quarterback, Nussmeier. It's LSU's offense has been really hit and miss, and I think Pavia. The idea that Diego Pavia is probably being counted upon to have a better game than Garrett Nussmeier says a lot as well.
Hugan, did you not believe that because you thought it'd been 278 games since Vandy had been favored?
But I mean, I thought Vanderbilt was. I mean, one of those years under Franklin, they won 9 games. I'm thinking, well, they had to play Kentucky one of those years for God's sake, and Kentucky is usually bad. You can't tell me Vanderbilt wasn't a home favorite over Kentucky in one of those years, but maybe not. He says it was a blurb on a like BetMGM site or something. So it's Vanderbilt it's an interesting story. I think people thought they would be solid this year. They certainly have been solid, though they also have not really played anybody all that good yet. The schedule is definitely back-ended. And I still find it hard to believe that LSU would lose to Vandy.
I can't in my mind. Like, I've been calling the shot all week, and we have a little thing where we play the ponies, and I can't do that for lesson entertainment purposes only when it comes to calling the shot on LSU.
It's
actually losing to Vanderbilt.
To imagine in some respects, but you could. There's a reason Vandy's favored, and again, this isn't a bad LSU team. This is not a Jerry DiNardo or a Jerry Stovall coached LSU team. This is a Brian Kelly coached LSU team that's lost one game and has been in the top 12 all season long. And yet Vanderbilt is the home favorite. If there's a home stadium in a Power 4 conference that's less of an advantage than Vanderbilt's, I would love to see it. I mean, Wake Forest, Boston College, Duke, those are not huge home field advantages, but I've been to games at Vanderbilt where the opposing fan base outnumbers the home fans 2-1. And I'm thinking tomorrow a lot of LSU fans will be in Nashville because it's a good road trip. And I think LSU wins, which would, I guess, technically be an upset, but it's still hard to think of LSU beating Vandy as an upset.
I mean,
it makes me chuckle.
Guys, I think Vandy's going to win the game. I mean, I'm not.
Well, Vegas thinks they're going to win the game.
They're better. And I was talking to Watson Brown off the air, and he was like, because I said, can you wrap your brain around that? And he goes, I wrap my brain around this. LSU does not look like a top 30 team in college football. And I agree with that. When you look at LSU's offense, you look at the fact that quarterback's obviously playing hurt. Now, I hear he's got an oblique injury. And I heard it was a shoulder earlier in the year, but now people are saying it's an oblique deal and he can't push the ball downfield. It's kind of like Oklahoma putting that quarterback out there last week.
Yeah.
You put one of these guys out there in one of these games that can't fully function. And Hugie, they've got a well-paid backup there in that Van Buren guy that they paid a lot of money to I believe, shake off Mississippi State's team after last season. And that kid's a capable quarterback. I just wonder, Hugie, what they're doing there at LSU because it's obvious that this Nussmeier guy's hurt, addled, however you want to put it, Hugie.
Yeah, but even as bad as LSU's offense has looked, their one loss was to Ole Miss, at Ole Miss by 5 in a game they had a shot to win. And Oxford's a more difficult place to play than Nashville. I still think the LSU defense is quite good. They got guys who can make plays. But yeah, the idea that Diego Pavia is being counted upon to have a better game than Garrett Nussmeier says a lot. And I think Nussmeier has been one of the most disappointing players in the nation. A lot of SEC quarterbacks have been, frankly, disappointing this year. I think he's the number one disappointment. He does not look anything close to what he looked like last year.
Hey, Hugie, I just told Bino it's a double firing Saturday. We were talking during the break because I think LSU is going to lose tomorrow to Vandy, and that guy's going to get fired. And I think the guy with crazy eyes who looks like Ted Nugent, who's a great defensive coach at Oklahoma, their offense has been offensive since he's been down there. I think South Carolina is going to get them tomorrow, and he's going to get fired before this thing's over. I think both those jobs are going to open up.
South Carolina's offense is so bad.
So bad.
Oklahoma can't run the ball. I don't think Mateer will play that poorly 2 weeks in a row. South Carolina lost by 10 last week to LSU. I think Oklahoma wins. I think that will be an extremely ugly game. Don't expect a ton of points. But again, South Carolina, I like Norris Sellers, but I think he's been disappointing, but I'm not sure it's all his fault. Their line is garbage. Their receivers are garbage. Their running backs are garbage. And, Lenore Sellers is struggling. Well, yeah, he has zero help. And plus, the Oklahoma defense, I think, is elite. It had some issues last week, but I think Oklahoma beats South Carolina. But Venables is not safe. Freeze is not safe. Napier is gone sooner rather than later. I don't know if they fire Brian Kelly. I think it depends on how they finish. But if they lose tomorrow to Vandy, I think that the rest of the schedule all of a sudden looks much more daunting.
I'm for chaos. Gimme chaos. Here's what you don't want, though.
You're at the right place, then.
And you talk about an ugly football game. I'll tell you what can get ugly. If you trust your moving when it's moving time for you to just anybody, you trust one of these fly-by-night moving companies that pops up, that can get ugly, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to do that. Guffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. That's like the last time Vanderbilt was favored in an SEC game. Okay? 138 years, 5 generations. Moving and Storage, Pro Mover, serving Knoxville and our surrounding areas. They do interstate moves too, residential and commercial. You're going to get personalized service. They're going to take care of your stuff like it's their stuff. And that is the bottom line. And that's what I'm telling you. GuffonMovingAndStorage.com online. Beanstar.
3:30 ABC tomorrow, Mike. Georgia, Ole Miss.
Yeah, this is fascinating. Ole Miss pounded them last year in Oxford. I don't think this Ole Miss team is as good as last year's. Georgia, boy, they were extremely lucky last week. Kirby Smart can say what he wants, but that was they got some incredibly they got nicely wrapped gifts from the SEC officiating crew. Let's put it that way. Gunnar Stockton, he's got he's got moxie, and I can hear Larry Munson describing Gunnar Stockton as having moxie and all that kind of stuff. But the Georgia running game is a disappointment. They have zero explosiveness on offense, zero. I think they're in the 80s nationally in plays of more than 10 yards, which is embarrassing for a team that recruits that well. The Georgia defense is talented. They don't have a very good pass rush, though, and you can pick on their corners, which is, again, sort of, you wonder, all these 5-star corners you signed, well, what's happened to them? And the answer is, well, they're not playing very well. But I find it hard to believe that Georgia will lose at home to an Ole Miss team that is not fully formed. I still am not 100% believer in the Ole Miss defense. And the idea that, I think last week Ole Miss struggled big time against Washington State. I think that was a case of, okay, they played really bad football and still won, which you have to do at least once a year or twice a year if you're a high-level team. I just don't I cannot see Ole Miss going on the road and winning at Sanford Stadium, especially, Lane Kiffin. People talk about James Franklin's lack of success against good teams. Lane Kiffin against good teams on the road is not good. So I think Georgia's going to win.
Mike, you mentioned something there, I know fans tire of almost. When you have 11 years of almost, or whatever James Franklin had up there, the bill always comes due. But I'm still stunned that he is fired midway through this season. Just the chain reaction of events that happened, and all of a sudden, after 3 weeks, the guy is gone.
Bino, Colombo made a really good point to me. The ball's laying on the ground in overtime, squirts through the hands of a Penn State defender. He gets on that. They're probably ranked number 2 or number 3 in America today. That's just the nature of this college football thing we're watching now.
How razor thin, Mike?
There's no question, but I think also that the Oregon game sort of coalesced all the thinking into he's never going to get it done here. He still had detractors. I think his shelf life ended. I think all coaches have shelf lives. And I think his sort of, it's like bread that's been on the grocery store shelf for 3 weeks and it should have been bought 2 weeks ago. It's stale. His offense certainly is stale. I think you can watch Penn State's offense, and for most of a game, you're like, these dudes are playing not to lose. They had players regress. Drew Allard never really got all that much better this year. I think he regressed this year. I think he made nice strides last year from sophomore to junior, but junior to senior, he backslid. The offensive line was not a team strength. They really did not adequately replace Abdul Carter. And I think it was a case of the Oregon loss. It's like one of those, I think this is going to sound sort of crass, but it's like one of those houses on the Outer Banks that's been falling into the ocean of late. The pillars underneath the house are gone and the house collapses. And I think the idea that Penn State football is sort of akin to that. The foundation was there. It looked really good, but there was a problem. And the Oregon loss exacerbated that problem, and I think people finally threw up their hands and said it's time for a remodeling. Though, if I got to think that 95% of the programs in FBS football, if not even more, 97 or 98%, you give them annual 10-2 seasons in a power conference, you're going to the playoff every year. And that is, they obviously weren't going to the playoff this year, but they were one play away from beating Notre Dame to get the title game last year. But you're right, the razor thin margin. But I don't think anybody thought that James Franklin was going to win a national title at Penn State, and that evidently, the Oregon loss was the last straw. And they looked really uninspired the past 2 weeks, which makes you wonder if the guys in the locker room, even though they supposedly like James Franklin, were like, we're done for the season.
Penn State hadn't won a national championship since I had a full head of hair and six-pack abs, okay? I mean, come on now. I was like 17 years old. So what makes anybody think Penn State's going to win a national championship? That's part one. Part two, we had a youngster yesterday, Bino, pop into our YouTube chat. And he says, hey, I'm 22 years old, which I love having the young kids listen. It's awesome. We take them under wings every day. He says, how long till you people like you, Tony, are fed up with Josh Heupel for these 10-2 seasons, and see Hughie's laughing, and not contending for a national championship? What's the difference between him and James Franklin? Is what this kid answers. Here's my answer. I want you guys to answer. When you are beating Alabama and Florida in your building regularly, which is something James Franklin was not able to do against Ohio State. He had a 2-score lead last year, and it evaporated just like that because his offense sucks. The C says K, and the word is sucks. And it's always sucked. And so he's not going to beat those teams. This guy here that we have, Bino, he's going to go 10-2, something like that. He's building equity by giving us some high-level wins. Bino's thoughts first, then Hugie. Go ahead, Bino.
No, I think that's perfect, Tony. I think one of the things that you have to do here, I don't think winning a national championship is something that you have to do here. I think you have to, at least wise, be competitive with Alabama and with Florida.
Yeah. And Hugie, the thing about the guy at Penn State is he just didn't have loud wins. He had a lot of wins, but they weren't loud. You got to give your fans something to feel good about, man. Something to smoke a cigar about.
Heupel's what, fourth season?
Fifth season.
Fifth. Mm-hmm. I mean,
yes.
Franklin, this was his 12th. And I think the idea that he's been there, he is who he is kind of thing. And that, that's sort of a stupid statement, but that's James Franklin is not going to beat the elite teams. And I would argue that if you expect any school, well, maybe I still think the idea that you expect X number of schools to annually be a legitimate contender for the national title, that's where schools get ridiculous. Indiana's paying Curt Cignetti now $11.8 million a year. He's the third highest paid coach in the country. Phenomenal story. Does anybody rationally think that Indiana is going to remain a college football playoff team for the entirety of that contract? Let's look. USC is a better program. Washington is a better program. Oregon is a better program. Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, all better programs than Indiana. Right now, all of those except Ohio State, well, maybe Oregon. Well, Indiana beat Oregon last week, though. I just don't think the idea that you can you expect Indiana, if you're paying your coach almost $12 million, you're expecting national. Hopefully, you're expecting national title contention. That's ludicrous when it's Indiana. If my school made the playoff 8 of every 10 years, that's a powerhouse program. If my program makes the college football playoff once every 10 years, then you got to say, who are you?
Yep.
If you're NC State, that's awesome. If you're Clemson, something's wrong. If you're FSU, something's wrong. So I think people be careful what you wish for. If you're thinking already how Heupel's never going to win a national title here, fine, start the process again and end up with a guy like Derek Dooley. And I think that's one thing people tend to forget. Just because this coach can't do something doesn't automatically mean the next guy is going to be a winner. I get the idea that, well, we need to try something else, but at some point, the trying something else, it's not guaranteed either. I mean, you guys know I'm a Florida alum. Florida hasn't had a good coach since Urban Meyer left after 2010. 15 years wandering the wilderness. If you're Florida.
Let me ask you something. Towards that end, would Florida do business with James Franklin?
I don't think so.
Because he would get down there and make the playoffs.
If you can't beat, if you're 4-21 against top 10 teams in the Big Ten, you're going to play more top 10 teams in the SEC, and you're not going to get it done. Would the floor
but he
be
put
raised
him in the playoffs,
over Napier? Heck, I could raise the floor over Napier. The ceiling, though, I think, was what Florida would hit up against with Franklin.
There's no question. Franklin he was a shiny object coming out of Vanderbilt, but that is true. That you just can't. And like Bino said, when I fire you week 6 in a season and you're calling Gufon moving and storage to get your stuff out of there, I mean, come on now. Clean this mess up or else we'll end up in jail, the test tubes and the scale. Get it all out of here, as a great Donald Fagen once said. I want to shout out my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage because now it's time for the Gufon Moving and Storage Mover of the Week, presented by Gufon Moving and Storage, as selected by the great Mike Hugan, who joins us Fridays on the show. They're online at Gufon Moving and Storage. Shout out to Taylor, the 5th generation, carrying on the family tradition there. Hank Williams Jr., secure and vaulted storage, newest offerings of commercial storage logistics. Business owner, listen to me. They offer receiving, storage, delivery services for all your business logistic needs. Gufan Moving and Storage.com. Mike Hugan, talk to me, my friend. Where are you?
Yeah, it's got to be Indiana. They go on the road, beat Oregon, I would argue somewhat convincingly. That was not a fluke win. Their lines were better than Oregon's lines. And that, to me, was frankly stunning. Dan Lanning, coming off that Kirby Smart splash, he also worked for Saban. You build inside out. You build the lines and then worry about other stuff. Well, his lines got beaten up by Indiana's. And I just said 2 minutes ago, the idea that Indiana is going to be a perennial title contender. Yes, Cignetti has done good work in the portal. 3/4 of their starting secondary is from the state of Florida. 2 of those dudes were recruited by the former regime. So high school recruiting still matters at Indiana. And frankly, at any school, you can't rely totally on the portal. But I think Cignetti does it. Last year he needed to bring in a boatload of guys. He did. He still brought in a bunch of guys this year from the portal. If he continues to do that, that's thin ice. You can't do that. So you have to recruit still. And the idea that there aren't a heck of a lot of good high school athletes in Indiana. So that means that they can never miss in the portal, and that's just not a way to run a program. I think Cignetti is an awesome coach. Fernando Mendoza is a really good quarterback. That Surratt kid is a beast at wide receiver. They got good running backs. They hit the snot out of you. And one thing I like about Cignetti, I think I said it last week, he's the coach that looks at the scoreboard. Okay, we're beating Minnesota 42-21. I want this to be 63-21. Keep the gas pedal down. And I like Indiana for that reason, but I still, it's unfathomable to me that you're giving this guy $11.8 million, fully guaranteed contract. What happens when he goes 7-5, and that's going to happen.
Yeah, and over the next 10 years, Bino, and I know Bino's a big Cignetti fan, okay? Over the next 10 years.
I think the guy's a great coach.
Yeah, over the next 10 years, Bino, right from here, okay? Let's count this year. Let's say they have a 16-team playoff, okay, and you're Indiana. How many times Indiana going to make the playoffs, Bino? Over the next 10 years, Beanstar, what do you think? They go to 16. How many times, Bino? Over 10 years.
In that league?
Yeah.
Half the time.
See, I don't even think it's that much. Because, again, USC is going to get better. Washington is going to get better. Oregon's not going anywhere. Ohio State's not going anywhere. Michigan will eventually get rid of Sharon Moore, and they'll be better. What's Penn State going to do? I just think that's way too much money to pay a coach. You also got to worry about players from the portal. You're going to have to pay. You got to overpay high school kids to go there because Bloomington's a cool college town. If I'm from Atlanta or I'm from Miami or I'm from Houston and I go to Bloomington in January, I ain't going back to Bloomington. If I go to Bloomington in November, I ain't going back to Bloomington if I'm a high-level recruit. So I think that, if you count this year, maybe 3 times total in 10 years, Indiana will make the playoff. I just don't think that's a program that can have sustained success even in this era, because eventually it comes back to players, and you cannot get the bulk of your starters from the portal on an annual basis.
Tomorrow night, prime time. I ain't talking about that fraud USC Notre Dame game. That's a fraud football game. I'm talking about the real rivalry.
The Holy War.
I'm talking. Well, that's late night, isn't it? The Holy War.
Yeah.
Damn you, Bino.
Sorry.
You're always tripping my brain up. Don't do that to me.
Sorry.
How about my volunteers traveling as a live dog to Alabama, a very flawed Alabama football team, Hugie?
Yeah, this is, I think, talking earlier about the Oklahoma, South Carolina being low scoring, I think this is going to be a high scoring affair. I don't trust either defense. Tennessee has been a big disappointment to me defensively. Alabama's defense, you can exploit their corners. They don't have much of a pass rush. Ty Simpson was the mid-season first-team quarterback on the AP All-American mid-season team. I'm not sure about that, but he is playing well. I think this is going to be an interesting quarterback matchup. It's in Tuscaloosa. I think that will be an advantage. If this game were in Knoxville, I think the Vols would win. But it's in Tuscaloosa, I think the Tide wins. But I think the Alabama running game, how well is Jam Miller going to play? Because there's no other back on that roster that scares anybody. How effectively will Tennessee run? And does either quarterback make more than one egregious mistake? I think both quarterbacks are going to throw at least one pick. But the question is, does one of them throw two or three, or does he fumble the ball when he's hit? I don't know. I just think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it will take 35-plus to win.
And who wins?
I think Alabama wins. I think it's going to be like 35-31, 38-34, something of that nature. I think the defenses are going to struggle immensely.
Bino, I think he's right, and I hate to say that. I think it's going to be a close game. And again, my line on tomorrow's game is I like Tennessee's team a lot. I just don't like us that much, and here's the reason why, and he said it earlier. Our defense is just so unsound. And one thing Matt talks about is that quarterback at Alabama right now is so in control of that offense. Yeah. I don't know who's worked with him. I don't know how they've gone from the way he looked against Florida State to the way he looks right now. That is some serious player development, Bino, that they've gotten out of him.
Yeah, no question, Tony. And again, I don't want to see it tomorrow, but I'm happy for Ty Simpson.
So am I.
Because it's so unusual for a kid to hang around and wait his turn these days.
And Alabama, I mean, they just, you're right, Hugie, like they don't necessarily run defend very well. They don't pass defend at times very well. But, man, Tennessee on defense is just a nightmare. They're just like a nightmare right now. And I don't know any way to say that. And Ty Simpson is going to move our safeties around. I hope he doesn't, but I'm just so afraid he's going to make us look like electric football out there tomorrow night, Hugie.
Yeah, Tennessee, I think they're, 14th in the league in total defense. That's not the be-all, end-all stat, but when you're closer to Kentucky than you are Virginia, than Georgia in the defensive standings, that's a sign that something's wrong. But again, I think Tennessee's running game can have success.
Yeah.
I think Aguilar is going to hit some big plays. But I think Ty Simpson's going to hit more big plays. And you're right. I mean, the Florida State loss, each week that looks more and more like, what the hell happened? How can that be? Because a FSU team that lost at home to a true freshman quarterback at Pitt last week, the Pitt quarterback torched him. And you wonder if Ty Simpson played Florida State now, what would he do? But in that first game this year, you're right. He looked like, oh, my God, they've hitched their wagon to the wrong horse. They're going to go 7-5, and DeBoer's getting fired.
That's
now,
right.
Yeah, everything looks pretty good now. Their offense, that's a well-coached offense, a lot better coached than it was last year. I think Ryan Grubb is a legit stud offensive coordinator.
Yep.
It still surprises me, though, that their running game is so iffy and their offensive line. Proctor's a cool story,
yep.
But I'll be honest, sometimes on when he tries to pass by, he just looks fat.
Awful.
And their offensive line as a whole looks a little bit too heavy. But
that's my hope.
They're doing a pretty good job pass protection. And if Tennessee doesn't get pressure on Simpson, he's going to shred them. But I think the same to an extent for Aguilar, and you wonder about the Alabama pass rush.
Southern college football legend Dale Jones, who made his bones in this deal right here, this matchup, back in '85, never be forgotten by the living fans, going to join us after Hugie on the other side. He coached for many, many years. and he's at his lake house, and he told us, he said, I'll gladly jump on with you each week and break games down, and I love it, man. You're going to fire me up here, man. Hugie, Tennessee can get home with that pass rush tomorrow because that tackle play is so bad from Alabama at times, pass protecting.
Especially
that's
the
a
right
reason.
tackle.
Right time. That's such a reason to feel good about this game, Bino. But our secondary, man, I just do not trust them. I wish I did, Beanstar.
Well, you've got reason not to trust them, Tony, but the only thing I'll say about this defense is their production has been better than their numbers because they take the ball away and somehow, some way, through one stretch of a game, they get key stops. I don't know how they do it when they let people march up and down. What this defense has to do is be better on third down and give up a higher percentage of field goals rather than touchdowns when teams get close. And that could make a huge difference.
Big for both these teams, yeah.
No question.
Force field goals, don't score TD. Yep. That's the Alabama running game. That's one thing I think that they miss in the red zone. I'm not sure how comfortable they are. If it's 1st and 9 from the 9, do they give Jam Miller one carry or none and throw all 3 times? Because that is something to worry about with Alabama. Their running game is not close to what the Alabama running game, frankly, should be.
Hugie, I love you. I love your passion. I love your knowledge. Bino failed you miserably today, and I apologize on his behalf because you didn't say rancid one time.
Oh, man.
We didn't induce one rancid out of you. Because you know why? Because this is a feel-good week.
This is a good week.
Brother,
really
enjoy it. Hey, tonight's games are great. Enjoy it. Enjoy yourself. Much love to you, brother. Thank you.
All right, talk to you next week. Thanks, guys.
We're live at Calhoun's on the River where it's fresh, factual, and furious. And here's the thing. Lovely Laura's on the board today. Now, will we be taking calls later next hour? The great Dale Jones. You talk about lovely. That Dale Jones, man, that cat looks. I put him right next to Tony Vitello in terms of good-looking men. Maybe my boy Joe in Blount County. It's another good-looking piece of man candy who's out here on the porch. Look at my man. Is my man working out?
Unbelievable.
Go! Andy Mack. So we got a lot to talk about today. I thought your cousin over there, Bino, was rocking an Alabama hat a second ago.
Oh, no.
No.
Critch Wildcats.
Okay, I there from behind, I thought, we got us a Tide fan out here today, which, we met that gentleman a couple weeks ago, Bino, that called us, used to call us and go, Roll Tide. Roll Tide. We met him a couple weeks ago, and I was nice to him. Wasn't I nice to him, Bino?
You were nice to him.
I said, sir, you're always welcome to call back, and I'm always welcome to exercise the power of the button on you when you start that Roll Tide nonsense. But in the meantime, we're live at Calhoun's on the River. I want to invite you to come out and see us. Every time the Vols play, we're here. So they're in Lexington next week, we're here. Oklahoma game, we're here. In fact, speaking of the Oklahoma game, we're doing a sun-up to sundown extravaganza out here beginning at 8 a.m., John and Cody taking you up to me, taking you up to the Playbook with William Pattison, taking you up to Dubsy. And then at 6 o'clock at night, the Fountain City Ramblers will be out here reeling, rocking, and rolling till the break of dawn. Can you feel this? John Mateer, because somebody going to feel. John Mateer going to feel. Will John Mateer be quarterbacking by then, Bino, in your humble opinion?
I don't know, Tony.
Because I'm not sure that guy, if I bought him a drink out here, could pick a bottle up. I mean, what is he doing playing, Bino, last week? What was that?
I think that was trying to save your job.
As we continue with more, on the other side, we roll it back at Calhoun's on the River right after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Bino, I just, in the honor of Leroy.
Stole a man's hat.
You said it, I didn't.
Unbelievable.
Sir Walter Chapman's in the house. He's got this awesome Tennessee hat that he got. What do you call these hats, Bino? It's like a
bucket hat.
Bucket hat. And I traded him. Now, he's not going to wear my Flyers hat for some reason, but put my Flyer. Look at him. Doesn't he look better in that than he did in the other hat, than this hat?
He looks good in both, Tony.
He's a good-looking man, isn't he? And Sir Walter Chapman, he's like, you're serious? I said, yeah. So he puts my hat. I put his hat on, and it doesn't fit. He goes, "Oh, it's adjustable in the back." He had to pull the little bead thing all the way back.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, "That thing barely fits you, Basilio."
Yeah.
He goes, "Like you're borderline. Like, what do you say about how big your head is?"
That thing's under a strap. That thing's gonna fire off and hit Tom Marine right in the eye.
Well, I say, where do you, Laura, I want you to check all the lines because Josh tells me he's on hold right now, and he wants us to get him in. So check the lines right now. Big Josh is going to join. Dale Jones is not answering the call on the eve of the Alabama game, Beanstar. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Maybe that's a good sign.
That'll be a first.
But he's not perhaps something's popped up with him, but he's not picking up right now. So we're going to call an audible, and I'm going to text Dale while we're doing that. And Laura, let me know when you got Big John. Oh, Dale's there. You don't mess with Dale Jones. In fact, I'm going to find Big Josh in the middle of Dale. I'm going to put them both together here. And let's have a legendary call. Dale Jones, how you doing, my man? You are the legend.
I'm doing great. Good,
buddy. You fire me up. You focus me, and you prepare me. I knew you'd come through on the day before the Alabama game.
Heck yeah, the big one.
Dale. Hey, Dale. When you think about this matchup, right? You look at it on paper, and you coordinated on the defensive side. Tennessee just has some issues that they've got to sort of get around, and that's sort of the nature of what you guys do when you're scheming and game planning. But boy, there are some things that Tennessee kind of struggles with that Alabama could really exploit in this game. I want you to kind of unpack that for me as you look at this matchup.
Well, as I look at it, I think the offenses are pretty, stat-wise, they're very similar. I think we have a better run game, and I think that that's gonna be the key. The biggest key of the game, though, to me, is going to be turnovers. If you can go in there and you don't turn the ball over, and you've got a chance with that offense. I think you look at Tennessee defensively. The biggest thing is they play a lot more snaps, and then because of the offense going fast, and they're giving up about 6 yards a play. Maybe seven yards of play, and Alabama's giving up 6. So, if you look at it, the number of plays that Tennessee is, they probably played 100 and something more plays than Alabama. Those things got to equal out, and the way you're going to equal that out is, in my opinion, is turnovers. Tennessee's got to win the turnover margin.
Hey, Dale, one thing that this team has done defensively is take the ball away. Is that something you can recognize as a coach early in the year and kind of teach it, or is that something that just kind of comes and goes from week to week, year to year?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the teams you're playing. I do like our pass rush, especially against their right tackle. I think we can put pressure at that position, and I just think that I think the pressure on the quarterback will help you. There's no question. And Tennessee, I have 26 sacks. Alabama doesn't seem to be, the team that's getting or not getting a lot of sacks, and that part of it, changes the game. But you look at that, you look at that your penalties. They've done a better job than we have penalty wise. We got to make sure that we do a great job of, being focused and not jumping off sides. And the main thing is not having the big ones, the personal fouls, just, stupid mistakes.
The legend Dale Jones at the legend Calhoun's on the river where we be today, get on the eve of the Alabama game. You're talking about their big right tackle. When you look at something like that on film and you see a kid that's so big that he has trouble against a pass rush, do you try things against him, Dale, or do you stun at him at all, or you just run around him? Like, what do you do on film when you're licking your chops and you look at a guy like that?
Well, I think the key to it is getting off the ball. You get on him quick, and then he's not able to handle the speed of it. That's what you want. You're looking for guys that can come, especially your defensive ends. Got to have speed, and then you just turn it into what he does. If he oversets, then you're going to power him to the inside. If he's base, then you want to work your outside edge rush.
Do you sit there with kids like, say Tennessee's got this Josephs guy. They got some guys that are really talented, right? That can get to the quarterback.
Exactly.
Would you sit down as a coordinator or a position coach even and go through the film and look at this guy's steps and say, hey, when he steps this way, you go that way? Or walk us through like how you would prepare, because really that's a big issue for Alabama. That is a potentially a game-changing issue for them in this game that bears watching tomorrow.
There's no question. You looking at the key to it is seeing how he's setting. That's going to determine whether you're inside pass rush or you're outside pass rush. And all that is the quicker you can get to him, close, tight to the fight is what we call it, the better off you are. And then you can use your leverage at different points depending on, how he's trying to take you on.
It bears watching tomorrow because the left tackle from Mississippi State is one of the reasons why Tennessee was able to neutralize them because they came up with sacks whenever they wanted them. They got a strip sack fumble out of that kid, just beating him basically one-on-one. Dale Jones joining. Bino, Jeff, jump back in.
Hey, Dale, Ty Simpson's been really, really efficient. I think he's thrown 16 touchdowns and only has 1 interception. If you're the defensive coordinator tomorrow, what are you trying to force him to do?
Well, I think the key to it is give different looks. Make them think you're in man coverage, and then you bail to cover 2. That is what you got to do. You got to be able to disguise what you're really trying to accomplish defensively. And I think that if they do that, I think that'll give him some problems. He's going to make plays. They're going to make plays. They got some, really good receivers, just like we do, and they're going to make plays. But the thing about Tennessee is that they're giving up some yards, but if you start looking at it, there's not that much difference if you look at the number of plays Tennessee's playing. They got to find a way to like I said, with turnovers, things, trying to steal another possession and just playing smart. And they're gonna make plays, they're gonna score, but also I look at Tennessee's offense. I don't see Alabama. They don't have any. To me, they're not just great defensively. It's not like that Alabama's when Nick Saban was there, and I think that's the key to it. I think our offense will move the ball and score. I think they'll score, enough points. We got to find a way defensively, and the key to it is, like you said, it's going to be turnovers.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, guys, is we've been kind of living on the turnover, which is great. I mean, you're back in your day. That pick you had at the end of the game on Shula will never be forgotten by the living fan. Those things live through time in games like this. The problem is this Simpson guy, and our fan base gets mad at me when I say this. He's playing the best quarterback in the league right now. That's what he is. He's playing top of the mark quarterback. And you know how you know? Through their schedule so far, 3 consecutive ranked games, they've turned the ball over twice this year, Bino. Twice. Yeah. We're coming up with 2 turnovers a game. Dale, I think tomorrow we've got to win that turnover battle by 2 to have a chance to win the game tomorrow.
I think if we win by 2, we're going to win the game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think we're going to score. I think we're going to score on offense, and we just got to find a way to, get them to turn the ball over. And in these games, you never know. You never know what the situation's going to be. You just can't beat yourself.
Yeah, and Dale, that's my concern on defense. Marbino and I were talking. Like, the way I look at tomorrow's game is I really like the Vols tomorrow, but I don't like them enough. If you kind of get what I'm saying, I feel good about our chances tomorrow in the game. But, man, I'm so scared that veteran quarterback is just going to move our safeties around and have a day, Dale. That's just – am I rightfully concerned about that, and are you concerned about that when you watch the film in this one?
Well, I think that, I think the same thing. He may try to give them something, but they have a scheme that they're running, and if you look at Tennessee, they're built to make those big plays, and that's going to be just how fired up you're ready to play. In these games, you don't know. I mean, it could end up being a low scoring game. Who knows? But as you look at it, you think it's going to be a high scoring, and I truly believe that our offense can move the ball on them just as much as they can move the ball on us.
Emotion is a big part of this rivalry. It mattering to you. Dale, obviously, we had a legendary call with you a couple years ago. Were you, before that, on the eve of that game when Tennessee beat them here 3 years back, you were sort of like just pouring out your emotion just about what this thing means to you. I want to bring Josh in here, who was a part of that. He's on hold right now. We didn't plan on this, but Big Josh is answering the clarion call on the eve of the Alabama game, interfacing with a guy he's called his hero down through the years, and Dale Jones. And Big Josh, welcome to the show, man.
What's up, Tony? Bino? It's an honor.
Hello, Josh.
Dale Jones, that's for sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Super excited about tomorrow. It's the third Saturday in October. It's going to define the season like it always does. It's going to define these kids' careers and legacies and how they're remembered for their time there. You know, Coach Nealon said, you never know what a player's made of until he plays against Alabama. Well, I can tell you what Dale Jones is made of. I can tell you what Peyton Manning, Joey Kent's made of. I can tell you what, Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt were made of. When the lights come on, it's different. This game means so much to so many people in two states who live and die with every snap, Tony. This game built this league, and this league built modern-day college football. And Tennessee, Alabama is at the heart of that. It's at the heart of it. You know, Coach Majors beat Alabama in 82, and for all the big wins he had, all the huge accomplishments, he said, this one will remain in my memory until the day I die. There is none greater than this one. And, Tony, I refuse to bend the knee to Alabama. I will not do it, especially in the presence of Tennessee greatness like number 54, who's on the line here. But there's something about Aguilar. There's something special about that kid. He got us in position to beat Georgia. I just refuse to think he's going to leave here without a special moment. And there can be none more special to Tennessee people than beating Alabama's ass in Tuscaloosa and win that game. So I'm going to ride with the Orange like I always do. And Dale, I love you. I appreciate how you represented me, my family, the people that I grew up with in Tennessee. We're all in for Tennessee. Nobody represented what this place stands for better than you and how you played with the effort you played. And all I can say is go Big Orange, beat Bama's ass. Go Big Orange!
Josh, I love you.
Good right there.
Dale, your thoughts, Dale, on what you just heard and how this Alabama game is just different. It's just different. If you can elaborate on that.
Well, anytime you're playing your rival, and I think that that's the whole. Really, if you look at the schedule, you pick the game that you want to win most. It's the Alabama game, and I think that's Tennessee. I mean, that's Tennessee football. It's all about winning this game. Of course, you want to win them all, but this one is just special, more special.
Bino, the last time I checked, they don't hand out cigars when you beat Florida.
No.
They don't hand out cigars when you beat Georgia.
No.
LSU, any of those games. No. They hand out cigars for one game, Beanstar.
Alabama.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's just what it is, Tony. It's what it's become over a number of years,
yep.
And nothing can ever replace that. It's, we've been playing Florida for a long, long time now, but it's never going to be the same in the hearts of Tennessee fans as Alabama is.
And Dale, when you hear a guy pour his heart out like that, with that passion that guy has, okay? And then he says to you, number 54, you represented me and my family. I mean, think about 40 years ago, somebody saying, 40 years later, somebody saying that to you, Dale, and meaning it, man, meaning it. How great is college football, Dale Jones?
Well, it's the heart and soul of the country, if you want to know the truth. And this is what you live for. You know, I mean, this is, you know, no matter what, I'll always remember, you know, making plays against Alabama all 4 years, and you know, some good, maybe some not so good, but it sticks in there no matter what. It's life. It's what Tennessee and you know, Tennessee football to me and to the people that grew up loving Tennessee. That's what it's all about.
Dale Jones, love you, brother. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
I'll be there
back
with
next
my
week.
cigar waiting to fire it up.
Let's go, brother. Let's go.
Thanks, Dale.
Love you, brother. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Great job by Dale Jones. I want to encourage you to check out WeShipFloors.com. Again, WeShipFloors.com. And the great product that Alan and those guys have. Go in there and check out their room visualizer. The Legend, at the Legend, Calhoun's on the river, and my friends at WeShipFloors.com. Thank you. In the meantime, Bino, we got to cool things off. How about Josh, Big Josh, Bino, answering the clarion call?
You knew Big Josh wasn't going to stay down in the dumps
from Monday
with Alabama.
Monday
there was no way.
Till Friday.
There was no way.
Josh, job well done, brother. A+++ to you. As we continue, I'll give myself about a C- for my performance thus far. I really need to pick things up as we continue with more, and I will aim to do that as we roll back. Calhoun's on the river. On the other side after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
My name's Basilio, back with you. I just posed for a picture with a couple youngsters. They were so precious. We were sitting down on the steps, Bino.
Yeah, it was a great picture. Great picture.
And these folks over here just gave a shout-out to the great Sunny Day. That lady grew up with Sunny Day. She said Sunny Day.
Wow.
Pulled more stunts.
Oh, Sonny, he was an American original.
Just
absolute American original.
Maniac.
Yeah. Love Sonny.
And the thing about Sonny is, I was talking with a dear friend of mine last night about this. We have more characters per square inch in East Tennessee than maybe any place in the world.
Yeah.
And Sunny Day was so indicative of that. Just a maniac.
He was the president of the charter of characters.
The day we were at the old Rick's place, right, like 30 years ago, and he arm wrestled Kevin Mays, who was just out of UT at the time.
Yeah.
challenged Kevin Mays to an arm wrestling match.
In a Bill Clinton mask.
And he had a Bill Clinton mask on.
With a robe on.
And a robe.
With like a tube that said Viagra on it.
And his tube said Viagra on it. That's exactly right. And Sunny Day was arm wrestling him, and he was doing even Steven, fair and square. And then he stood up and and cheated. He cheated and beat, and then he jumped up and did this and had the robe and the Viagra. He was crazy.
And then they arm wrestled again, and Kevin beat him pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then the next Monday on the show, he called you and said, "Okay, I cannot beat Kevin Mays in arm wrestling, but I would like to race T. Martin in the 40-yard dash."
All right, let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. I don't know how you remember any of that.
Because,
but you
Sonny stuff was unforgettable.
Are a maniac. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. We got 3 in a row, all 3 love songs in a row on this beautiful Friday. Hi, welcome in. Calhoun's on the river. Where you be? Hi.
Tony, Madison in Texas. How you guys doing?
Hey, Madison. Great to talk to you, my man.
Guys, I just want to make a few comments on Big Josh. You know, he talks about the legacy of the players, and, you know, with listening to his calls over the years, I think he's cemented his legacy as a caller on the show of record on Bama Week. So shout out to that guy.
Oh, long ago.
Incredible. I mean, he answered the call now. He answered the call today, and you're exactly right. That was a beautiful thing, and you could tell that mattered to Dale hearing that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I love Dale's breakdown in terms of the scheme. I'm liking what I'm hearing, although I'd love it if the officials do their jobs. You know, we haven't seen that in a very, very long time, so we'll be looking out for what's going to happen because God forbid Bama or Georgia get their second loss. I mean, SEC, they're not going to let that happen. But I really hope that they call a fair game for us. And guys, I had a couple comments on the defense. I know a lot of people had been looking at how we looked against Arkansas and asking, are these fixable issues that we have? And the answer is absolutely, right? I mean, these are mental mistakes, guys not knowing where to be in position. I'm not saying I guarantee they'll get fixed because, you know, I don't know. But these are mental errors, not physical errors for the most part. And I think we can get them fixed. Now the question is, will we? But guys, I watched the Texas A&M Auburn game, and the way that Texas played that Auburn quarterback, Arnold, was they had a spy with their most athletic linebacker who would basically just scrape over the top every single time Arnold tried to roll out. So it was almost like a delayed blitz spy type of look. I'd love to see us use something like that with Perlotti. I know he doesn't know the playbook as well, and, you know, he's still trying to get caught up. But if you say, hey, Perlotti, you got an easy job. You go where the quarterback goes, and when he starts running, go hit him. What do you guys think about that?
I think that kid is definitely going to be a football player. And I think that it was probably Rusty that was talking about T-Lander is probably being put in some bad spots, and you need to situationally substitute for him. I think those third downs would be a great time for Perlotti to be on the field.
You know what's funny about spies, guys, with all these running quarterbacks is you should see them a whole lot more in that college game. I think back to what Penn State let Nico do to them. They never adjusted.
Yeah.
They let that kid run wild. And, you know, scheme-wise, saying to that young kid, hey, look, see that guy over there? Everywhere he goes, I want you to stand in this box, and I want you to shadow him everywhere he goes. And if you can knock down and block a pass every once in a while in the passing lane, stay back here, stay with him. Everywhere he goes, you go. I think that's very doable. I think it's a good thought by you, Madison.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, he can do that. He was tracking Green for Arkansas pretty well late in the game when he got in, so I'd love to see him out there a little bit more. I know it's a tough spot, but we'll see what they end up doing. You know, guys, if the zone stuff gets fixed, I'd be fine with seeing more zone, provided that we play assignment sound. But if we can't, I mean, guys, maybe we just go man with one safety over the top and have Perlotti spine and scrape it over the top and try to get to him. You know, I think one thing we know about this matchup is both teams are going to get their points. The best thing you can do is score a few more than the other team, maybe get some takeaways, and hopefully have the ball at the end of the game.
Thank you, my
Thanks,
brother.
Madison.
Yeah, thank you, Madison.
Yeah, we've harped on this, Tony, but and Matt puts them at the end of every one of his game stories, and those are the essential stats. Everybody goes up and down the field today. Everybody goes up and down the field today. It's what you do once they reach the shadow of your goal line.
That's right.
This team have to get to the point to where teams aren't scoring touchdowns 75 to 80% of the time that they get down there. We got to hold them to 3 some, and we got to be a whole lot better on third down. Just those things. I know that's easy to say and hard to fix, but those two things could be make a huge difference in our defensive performance.
So Brian Hartman's come with a depressing and disgusting fact, he calls it. The thing about Vanderbilt and SEC opponents is actually not true. Because somebody said, hey, wasn't there a time, it was actually in 2018, Brian has learned through the Circa Research Library where he is in Las Vegas. But he went to the Circa Research Library, and he pulled one of their bound editions on the Vols. 2018 versus Tennessee. Vanderbilt was a 2-point favorite, and they ended up winning 38-13. And to refresh the memory of the living Vol fan, that was the night when Jeremy Pruitt, genius that he is, decided to call the defensive and offensive plays. And in Brian's words, it went really well, Bino. A masterpiece by Skull Can Jeremy Pruitt.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Maybe there's an asterisk beside those Pruitt and
Yeah.
Dooley times.
Maybe that's why people aren't counting them.
Yeah. Why would you count them?
Just pretend like they don't exist.
Why would you count them?
Expunge them from the record, if you will. Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome into our next call. Welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. Dave.
Hey, Dave.
What's up, Dave?
He's got Josh Heupel has to get if it don't get fixed this year, the defense, and this continues on to next year, because there's just, like I said yesterday, Jeff, there's zero excuse to be this bad on defense. We don't have bad players on defense. There's zero excuse to be that bad against the run. Now, you can say about whatever you want to say about our cornerbacks being injured, but our front seven should never be Swiss cheese against the run. We've got way too many good players on that side of the ball to be that bad. So that just tells me that's a coaching problem. And if it turns out that, whatever happens in the rest of this year, the defense is this poor when we lose 3 or 4 games, if he doesn't get that fixed next year, these next 2 years, 26 and 27 with that schedule, and let me tell you something, guys, we're in a different time. We're in a different time, and things happen really, really fast. And if he doesn't make that a responsibility as a head coach and do the things he has to do, and that even means firing some people, then he won't be here. He won't. Because I'm telling you,
Dave, you're a real time and place bright light, buddy. The eve of the Alabama game. I mean, come on, Dave. The eve of the game, Dave. Dave, hours away from playing them. Don't you want to be positive? Don't you just want to be positive? I mean, Look, it's beautiful.
No, I'm
out.
a realist,
Did you walk
Dave.
out?
And I've seen what I've seen on that side of the ball this year, and that is the opposite of what I expected coming in this year. That was supposed to be our better side of
rain
football.
clouds on a sunny day, and when it's beautiful outside, Dave wants me to go and play in the mud. Bino,
I hope Josh
would
makes
you
it
please?
Here. I hope he makes it here.
Oh, sounds like it. Sounds like it. Bino, would you please speak some sense into him?
Hey, obviously this is not the defense that any of us thought that we were going to see this year. It is way, way worse than I thought that we were going to see. And I guess when you look at what happened to James Franklin, Dave's right, everything's on an accelerated path. But just because this defense looks this way this year doesn't mean it's going to look that way next year. We're coming off a time when he had the very best defense that he's had here. We're less than a year removed from that. So I don't know that what we're seeing this year has any whatsoever on what we're going to see next year. I don't know that it has any bearing on what we're going to see next month.
Yeah, and that's why, Dave, you keep saying this thing about year 5. I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, it's not 2010 anymore. It's not every year you're building your program. Dave, they had so many players leave in their wide receiving room last year that they could have held a meeting at Small Mike's phone booth down there on North Shore. I mean, what are we talking about?
Well, obviously we had good enough receivers, and we do have good enough receivers. So he knew that we did, and that's why he probably didn't have a problem with those guys walking out. Maybe the fact we didn't think we had good receivers. I think we had good enough receivers last year. We just didn't have quarterbacks that could get the ball to them when they were open. And we got a guy this year.
Dave, yeah. We had a good enough defense last year, didn't we, Dave?
Yeah, but we didn't have the offense.
But we had a good enough defense, right?
We did have a good enough defense last year, yes, sir.
Okay, Dave. Thank you. I hope in your own way, Dave, you enjoy the Alabama game. Thank you. I'm not sure what way that's going to be. Bino, Dave walks outside today, and I guess he's looking for the clouds. I do see like a jet stream over there. I guess, Dave, you could count that as a cloud, a dark cloud, if you look hard enough. I mean, and Bino, I wanted you to talk some sense into him, and you're over there like agreeing with him.
Hey, what am I going to say to Dave that's going to make
him?
Dave consumes his sports differently than I do.
Change him, Bino. That's what you're supposed to do. Change the guy.
You know, Dave looks for a blemish on Miss America, and I sift through the rubble of tsunami to find one little keepsake. That's just who we are.
Nega Dave, I love you, but you're kind of a clown. 865, if you aren't really a clown, 865-200-5402. And when I call you a clown, Dave, that's a term of endearment, but you're really a clown today. He told me yesterday, he goes, you know what I'm going to be? I'm going to be on hold with 30 minutes to go in that game tomorrow. I'm going to be on hold. I'm like, okay, be on hold. I mean, you do you, brah. I ain't going to be on hold for 30 minutes to go. I'm going to be on hold. You do you, Chief. 865-200. And Bino, you had a chance to talk some sense into him. Back to our phones. Bino's looking at me like, you better change your tack, or I'm getting ready to whoop you. I'm getting ready to whoop you, Basilio. Ain't nothing like me to whoop a man with a bad back. Skinny little rectum here in front of about 150 people at Calhoun's on the River, where we be on a Friday. Let's go back to our phones. Oh, it's beautiful. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on our Friday edition. Hey, W. Lynn, welcome in.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
What's up, W. Lynn?
What's up, W. Lynn?
You know, there's rain heading toward our game tomorrow. If Dave drove about 200 miles west of Tuscaloosa, he could be in the rain watching the game if he wants to.
So well put. Dave, you might have missed your calling, Dave. You'd be a good storm chaser, Dave.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, Tony, Dale Jones was wonderful, and Big Josh, as always, has come around since Monday, which really fired me up. This Alabama game's special to me for several reasons. The first year my dad had season tickets in the north end zone in 1968 was my first one I saw in person. We won 10-9. And Richmond Flowers was a star player, and there's a great movie called The Unconquered that came out in the 80s that every UT fan should see, and that game's part of the movie. But first road trip, 71, I was 15. I had some good friends that took me. We lost to Johnny Musso in Alabama, but it was a wonderful experience, and from 78 to 92, I saw 15 in a row, home and away. And I think I've told this story before, but my lovely daughter was born in 1990, the day of the Alabama game. When my wife came to me in February of 90, she said, "Honey, we're pregnant." I said, "Well, do we have a due date?" She said, "The doctor said 10/20, October 20th. I didn't go look at a calendar. The first thing I did was grab a football schedule I had. And I said, "Honey, you're not going to believe this. That's the day of the Alabama game." And we laughed and said, "Babies never come on the day of the due date." But Catherine did that day. Born with Tennessee orange hair and still has it. And even though we lost that game, that's a terrible loss. Bino, I had some friends that used to get as crazy at games as the late, great Paisan did, and I think I probably kept some people from going to jail that night just because my daughter was born. But and her birthday's coming up, and ever since then, it's even been more special to me. And I don't care what the records are. Josh said it. It's what Southern football is all about. It's what brought Southern football to the national attention. It's a rivalry. It's a rivalry where both teams and both fan bases respected each other. And if you can't get fired up for Tennessee, Alabama, you probably need to follow another sport, because this is it. This is it. And I'm going into it with a lot of hope. And I know that if we lose, we're still in the playoff hunt. I'm not expecting to lose. I'm not guaranteeing anything. But I know that we can give Alabama a good game if we play a grade A game, don't make mistakes, like Dale Jones says, win the turnover battle, win the kicking game. And I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm enjoying it starting now. And Dale Jones had me so fired up. I went to the 85 game in Birmingham where we won on his interception. And my Angel Ellen was there with a group of girls on a road trip. I was with my guys on a road trip. And this is the year we got engaged. We got married the next year. And that game is special to me for many, many reasons. And stay fired up, volunteer fans. This is what makes Southern football great, guys.
W. Lynn, thank you.
Tony, there's just one thing that would make it even better. I hope I live long enough to where they get it right, and I see a game where Alabama wears crimson and Tennessee wears their orange.
Oh, baby boy. Don't you know that's a case? How beautiful would that be?
Oh,
They're in their crimson, we're in our orange.
They'd never do it any other way if they did it one time.
You know, our orange and their crimson should not make a good color combination.
It does.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
On the field.
It does. It's just fall-like.
It is fall-like. It is fall-like. And that 90 game that W. Lynn just evoked is one of my worst sports memories of all time. That's right up there with Black Friday, the Phillies and Dodgers in 1977. You talk about The ultimate Vol scar. That was a freaking Vol scar on dry ice.
Every time I hear that double thump, it makes me nauseous today.
Oh, man, Bino. Oh, man. Don't you know it. 865.
Even when we block one, it kind of turns my stomach.
Come on, man. Come on. And to those of us that were in the stadium that day, it sounded like a gunshot went off. That block was so loud.
Yeah, bum, just rolling back towards you, thinking, what in the world?
And to the kids listening in 90, we're lined up to kick a last-second field goal to win the game. This is no joke now. Literally 90 seconds on the clock. And neither offense had done anything. So if you make the field goal, the game's over. I don't care. It's not like today's game where you're going to go down the field and get in field goal range. Totally different sport back then. And not only is the kick blocked, probably at our 40, but it bounced all the way down to the Alabama 35-yard, to our 35-yard line, basically.
Yeah.
And he lines up 10 seconds later and kicks a freaking game-winning field goal. And I mean, he drilled it.
Yeah.
It was way good.
I mean, generally you don't block a field goal like Manute Bowl block shots where you kind of slap it into the stands.
Thank you.
They did.
And I was 100% for ties back then. 100% for ties. And still am, by the way, in college football. Mr. C told me the other day after watching one of those crazy overtime games, he said, why don't we just bring ties back? It would add a whole new strategy to the sport. I'm really serious. Dumb idea?
I don't know. No, I don't think it's a dumb idea.
The NFL does it.
I don't
and
think
it works.
It's a dumb idea.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Before we do, I want to remind you, my friends at VIP Play, listen, 200 leagues live always. All this action in the SEC this weekend, get involved. Some interesting games on Friday night. I'm going to have a triple play tomorrow, 3-pack picks. Bino, you've been red hot. Haven't you?
I hadn't picked one right in, I don't know, since.
I mean, I can't pick my nose right now, Bino, so I don't know what's going on. And if you look at the size of my proboscis, that is quite the statement. But live always, 200 leagues all around the globe, football, basketball, the whole thing, you name it. Hockey, I lost money on the Flyers last night. God, that was an awful effort by them. 800-889-9789 if you have a gambling problem.
Use
21
it,
and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet.
Use it.
Use it what?
Dial them right now. I'll take over the show. You betting on the Flyers.
I was wondering what you were saying use it for. I'm like, what is use it? What does that even mean? In the middle of a read, Bino.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Let's go back to the phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome. I'll tell you what, we got to get one in. Let's get a brief timeout in, and then we'll get some more calls in, and we'll stay on and do a little TLD Logistics overtime after this.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit TLDlogistics.com. That's TLDlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you. Not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
This October, Pipe Wrench is serving up scary good savings with no tricks and just treats for your home comfort. This month only, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation, a free sediment filter with water heater installation, or protect your home's comfort with HVAC tune-up and plumbing system check bundle for just $129. Forget the tricks of surprise breakdowns, costly repairs, and high utility bills, as our limited time offers are designed to keep you cozy, comfortable, and confident all season long. Pipe Wrench is always your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. You better hurry, because just like Halloween candy, these offers disappear after October 31st. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family.
And there you go, my friends at Carnes Motor Company. I love you guys so much, Rob and Brian. Y'all are unbelievable. Andy Mack, I got to get out of here and throw to the playbook presented by our friends, my man William Pattison. He's unbelievable, Andy. We're going to stay here and continue to talk about it. At Calhoun's on the River, thank you. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We love you. God bless. GBO.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
So there you go.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com. And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Tony B back with you as we welcome you back. 865-200-5402. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's unbelievable. Here we are the eve of the Alabama game. These are all so special when Tennessee and Alabama plays. It's just a special thing. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. It's just a special thing. So here we are, Beanstar. Your thoughts on the show today thus far, and then we go back to the phones here on our TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime.
Tony, it's hard not to do a good show when you're talking about Tennessee and Alabama, right?
Ain't that the truth? And then you
just
add,
let it go.
You add like the passion of Mike Hugan, and who loves college football so much. He's little kid excited, right?
Always.
And then you add to that
Dale Jones.
And then you add to that
Big Josh.
Big Josh's phone call.
Yeah. It's one of those, Tony, you just roll the ball out.
And W. Lynn's biography.
Just roll the ball out.
Just roll the ball out. Old Larry Finch basketball back in the day.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
Let's go. God, I didn't see you over there, Wade, hiding
How
in plain
about that?
sight. Winner Wade.
Goodness gracious.
I didn't see you guys hiding in plain sight. Who knew? Hey, good thing TR's not down here. Where's your orange? I knew he'd like that. He's shaking his head at me. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to the phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hello, everyone. It's Music City Sam.
Hey, Sammy, welcome in.
Happy to be here. Hey, can you get Bino to walk around with the band's tip bucket? Because I might need some bail money for later tonight. Every single Alabama fan in Nashville is getting it from me today. Every single one of them.
They're a bunch of them, Sam.
Just three. I need help later, Bino. Get on I-40, head west.
Okay, I'll do it. I got the bucket.
Hey, we need some positivity after Dave sucked the wind out of everything. I got a little cash on this game with Tennessee plus 9.5. It's the lock of the century. What I'm going to do when Tennessee wins this game is I'm going to take that money. I'm buying 5 tickets to the New Mexico State game and donating them to the Amachi tailgate. And I challenge every single volunteer out there to do the same thing if you can, because I think that's what we need. Josh got me fired up.
That'd be a beautiful thing, Sam. But sounds like now you need to buy 4 tickets and then have some bail money.
Well, I'm exaggerating. I hold my tongue pretty well. But I do tell every single Alabama fan in Nashville that if Alabama was so great, they would live there and not here. And they don't typically have a good response to that.
I guess not.
Hey, I'm fired up for this game. Josh summed it up well talking to Dale Jones. Man, the joy we get out of these games is it's indescribable. It lasts a lifetime. I think some kids deserve to go to the New Mexico State game and see Neyland in all its glory. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, Sam, I think that, folks who are my age, nothing's ever going to supplant Alabama. I understand there's some folks younger than I that kind of grew up during the 90s when it was Spurrier and Fulmer and the Florida game, and you'd broken into divisions in the Florida game, for your overall season and your opportunity to make it to the SEC championship game became more about Florida. So I understand that, but I just think there's a longevity to Alabama that will never go away. And I think a lot of those fans that once felt more strongly about Florida are back thinking, hey, this is the game on Tennessee's schedule year in, year out.
Yeah, I agree. Because I'm the same way. I grew up in the 90s, and it was always Florida.
Yeah.
But no, this is the one for me because, when Saban was there and he could stack the rosters, it wasn't fun because you just knew they had too many players. But I will never think that Tennessee can't beat Alabama. And I'm excited to see the game.
Yeah, just enjoy them. They're precious. They really are.
Yeah, it's a family affair for me. I'll be at my parents. We'll cook. We'll watch the game, and we'll
it's a great
we'll
thing,
cheer it
man.
on.
And that, Sam, is what it's really about.
And, that's the difference between football and any other sport. Football is an event sport. It only happens once a week. People gather by the thousands. It's a great party game. It's a great something or other to gather around the television and watch. My friends at Calhoun's have these great party packs. They tell me they do a tremendous business. People picking up at various Calhoun's locations around the city. And it's just a sport that lends itself to that. It's just, in fact, it's perfect for that, really.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball's not like that. Baseball, you and I love baseball. It's the rhythm of every day in the summer.
It's a heartbeat.
But this is you point to it, you talk about it all year, you fret over it in the spring, you sweat over it in the summer, and then the fall comes, and just like that, the Tennessee-Alabama game's right on us here, Sam.
It's going to be.
Thank you, Sam. What happened to Sam? Did we lose Sam?
One of those Alabama fans got a hold of him.
Let's get our next call in on TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime High. Welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? Joshy boy.
Hey.
Joshy boy.
Joshy boy, thank you for bringing me that really
Tony.
good news today. You brought me really good news. Joshy boy texted me.
Yeah, Tony, you can pour a legal drink out. You can pour some bourbon out tonight for the Cash Stealer because he probably won't be a Philadelphia Philly next season.
I'm pouring one out for the Cash Stealer. In fact, I'm buying Sexy Lancey a mixed drink tonight when we're playing music because it's going to be unbelievable to celebrate the fact that Nick Castigliano will not. Laura said, Sam, she accidentally cut you off. Laura is an inexperienced operator, Sam, so send your hate mail her way. In fact, I would love for her to get a hate email every once in a while, because I always get the hate emails, Bino. Wouldn't it be great if she got a hate email?
No, it would not, Tony, and I doubt she's going to give
No,
one.
it
I would
wouldn't.
say yours is going to continue.
Oh, mine will continue, no doubt about it.
I may send you one.
Interesting.
When I get home.
After my performance with you today. I don't blame you, Bino. But, Josh, thank you so much for bringing me that good news, because knowing
No problem.
that the Cash Steal is no more is a great thing.
Yes, it is.
I hear he's going to sign with the Braves. I hear the Braves want him.
It would be the Phillies' luck if he went to the Dodgers and he won a ring next year.
No doubt about it. The only ring he's going to win, the way he plays, is ring around the collar, brah.
Yep. Okay, guys, so out of these 5 matchups, which ones do you think, or how many do you think the road underdog could win, okay? Tennessee heading to Alabama tomorrow night. Washington heading to the Big House tomorrow. USC headed to Notre Dame. Georgia Tech heading to Duke tomorrow. And the last one, Ole Miss headed to Georgia.
All right, Beanham, rank them most likely to happen to least likely to happen. Where would you put Ole Miss, Georgia? Most likely to least likely.
I would put Georgia Tech as the most likely.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I would put probably Ole Miss the second most likely.
I agree with that.
I do too.
I would put Washington the third most likely, Tennessee the fourth most likely, and USC the fifth.
I would put us third, but I agree with you.
I agree with that list, Bino.
You're very good, Bino. Well done.
Yeah, I
you
agree
over
with
there?
you, Tony. I would maybe slide Washington down to the 4th spot and us at the 3rd spot.
Hey, Fab Five Freddy, your brother just took some smart pills. I don't know what happened to him between.
I stole them from him.
There you go. There you go.
Isn't that what you do? Steal pills from your brother?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah. So who do you guys think is going to have to step up for the Vols on defense tomorrow and have a big performance on the D?
I just think that secondary's got to play better, man. And it sure would be if Tennessee can get a C-plus game out of their safeties, they could win that game tomorrow. I really believe that because they're going to create opportunities with their pass rush. They really are. The problem is he's going to get chased outside. He's going to keep his eyes downfield. We're going to play electric football at times, and he's going to hit some big plays on us. I hope I'm wrong, Bino, but that's the problem because I think we're going to get pressure on him. I really do.
Yeah, and I think they're going to make big plays. They've got a great receiving core, and he's been very good. So, once again, I think the key for our personnel is not going to change. In all likelihood, it's not going to change. So,
guys,
we've got to be better in situations.
Yeah, you guys may think I'm crazy, but I don't think that Spillman loss tomorrow in the first half is that big of a loss because I think the freshman that's stepping up for him in the game tomorrow, I think he can play. I think he's a decent player.
I agree with that. No, I think that's right. You know, you're the second person that's brought him up. I mean, some of the young guys that are getting a chance on defense, I hope they introduce more of those guys as the year goes along because the truth is
there's no reason not to.
Well, you got it. You got it. It's hard to do worse than a few of those dudes are doing on defense.
It is.
I hate to say that. I mean, I don't want to be that way. But, man, give other people a chance. You might have instinctive football players out there. Who knows?
Tony, I just shake my head sometimes, like when they're got the team in 3rd and long and T-Lander is on the field on 3rd down. He's too slow.
It looks like electric football, man. It really does.
Yeah. Tony, when the post-game show after the Arkansas game, when Negative called in and he said the offense was shit, I had to rewind it for a second because I thought he said defense, but he said offense. I thought our offense was solid Saturday against Arkansas.
What do you think, Bino?
Well, I don't think our offense is feces. I think that's obviously a stretch. I think we're averaging like 40 points a game. So,
yes.
I mean, there's situations where they obviously could be better. I was disappointed that we didn't turn Arkansas's first turnover, which was on the plus side of the field, into points. I think they could play better complementary football than they're playing, but they're not refuse.
Hey, Catfish Ike is reporting that Jam Miller is now listed as probable as of a moment ago, Beanstar. So they're going to let that kid play with a concussion. You got to love Alabama, man. You got to love Alabama.
Hey,
you do.
Miraculous recovery.
They put him in a magic tent.
There you go. I wonder if they still use deer antler spray, or if deer antler spray was just a concoction that Nick Saban trafficked in.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great day. Go Big Orange.
Joshy boy, go Big Orange. Back to you, and I hope you can maintain your positivity through the weekend.
Yeah, Joshy. Don't be calling up talking in tongues after this game.
Yeah, I don't need that, Joshy boy. I need you to be, solid tomorrow. Yeah, somewhere between Big Josh and Negadave tomorrow night. Don't go to the dark side like Negadave. Boy, at Negadave, man, he walks outside on a sunny day, Bino, and he goes, they're calling for rain on Sunday. That's what he's thinking. I mean, you talk about a punk and a clown. Let's go back to our phones and get our final call in of the day, because it's unbelievable, Andy, because I got to get back, because I got late night playing music tonight. And let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome.
Hey, Tony, it's Max in Halls.
Max?
Wow.
In Halls. Welcome in, my friend. That's God's country.
I like that.
Hey, so I hate Alabama. They're bum fans. They're bum town. They're bum stadium. If you'll permit me, I have a quick story to tell. I've been waiting for 10 years to tell this story.
I want to hear about their bum fans and bum stadium and
Max.
bum town. They call it T-Town, whatever that means.
All right, so 10 years ago, I was stationed in New Mexico, and I'm full-throated right now, so forgive me. I took some leave. I drove from New Mexico across the great state of Texas, across Louisiana, across Mississippi, and wound up in Tuscaloosa on the third Saturday in October in 2015. One of my buddies drove from Knoxville, and he met me down there. I had 2 tickets. So we meet at 8 a.m. I didn't sleep a wink. We met at the hotel. First thing we did was, well, we went and bought a case of beer. So we're walking around that little square they have outside Bryant-Denny, okay? And we're getting booed up and down the street, us left and right across the entire campus. My only hope is, well, I hope we can find some Tennessee fans somewhere that we can at least mingle with. I don't feel like fighting my way into the stadium. So eventually we do. They're nice. We have a pretty good time. About 30 minutes before the game starts, we still have over half a rack of beer, and so we try to find a bush, right, that we could put it in so we can get it after the game. My buddy, who's a little bit heavier set, looks at me and he says, this is Alabama. He starts putting cans of beer around his waistband. Okay? He puts about 12 or 13 of them, and he says, we're going in. So I say, well, this isn't going to work out. We walk up to the gate. I show him the 2 tickets. The guy barely even looks at us, does this little magic wand thing across our face and waves us in. And we look at each other, and we are in tears laughing. I can't even believe that worked. We're sitting up in Nam. We can't even see the field hardly. That stadium is laid out horrendously, okay? You need a telescope to see what's going on. So we're just drinking these waistband beers that he's got that are lukewarm now, and it gets to be about halftime.
Hey, Max, that sounds very inviting. A heavy-set guy with beer strapped to him on a hot day. I mean, where do I sign up for me drinking some of your lukewarm beer off your buddy's belly and his belly sweat? But anyway, continue.
Okay, it gets better. Okay, this is going to rock your world. Halftime. Okay, I'm thinking, man, I'm a little bit hungry. So we walk down to the concourse. I have to wade my way through the smoking section of their concourse, which I didn't even know they had anymore. So once I regain my breath and I make it up to the concession
Bino,
stand.
They have a smoking section, Bino?
Yeah, it's like 3/4 of the stadium.
Continue, Max.
Horrendous. I make it up to the concession stand. Say, hey, could I get a dog? How about a dog and a Coke, please? She says, sure thing, honey. She hands me my foil-wrapped dog, and I get a Coke. I head over to the condiments. Going to put some mustard on it, right? I unwrap the aluminum foil from my hot dog, and there is a full grown man bite already taken out of it. I mean,
dude, people are trying to eat.
So, I mean,
people are trying to eat.
So, older me, I would have gone back and said, excuse me, ma'am, I think there's been a mistake. You've eaten my hot dog that I just paid for. Well, there's a Tennessee fan, who was right next to me ordering something. He said he wanted a dog as well, so I watch. They go over to a separate pile of Tennessee hot dogs and give it to him. So I'm pretty sure they preloaded a bite out of all of that stack of hot dogs and gave them to Tennessee fans. I'm convinced. I mean,
Bino, you can't even get a good hot dog in that place, Bino. And you got to walk through like a wall of smoke to get there, Max.
Yeah,
Max,
absolutely.
Tell the truth. Max, tell the truth. Tell the truth, Max. Now, you had a business decision to make when you had that hot dog that had a bite taken out of it. Did you do business with that hot dog, yes or no, and eat it? That's what I want to know.
Oh, dude, I throated that thing.
Thank you. Hey, Bino, earlier today, one of the servers was taking this table right in front of us here, some fries, and one fell on the ground, and they had that 6-year-old kid with them, and I looked right at him. Laura, close your ears. And I grabbed that French fry right off that floor down there where everybody's walking, and I ate that thing plain as day.
Yeah, Tony. I mean,
15-second rule, brah. So, Max, I
there's
stand
no
with
time.
you.
But your time.
Listen, Max. I've gone to a pizza parlor before on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, and Laura said, "Don't you dare!" There was like 2 pieces of pizza that were left on this plate. Looked like they'd been there for 15 minutes, and I went right over there and ate them because why not,
sir.
Max?
Yeah.
There you go.
The Birds got no chance with you around, Tony.
All right, Max, it leads to this. What happens tomorrow? No, you go ahead. You were going to add. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to finish up. Here's what's going to happen, all right? We're going to go down there. We're not going to get any of the calls. It'll be just like 2 years ago. We're going to have to fight, scratch, claw, cut our way. We're going to wind up in the victory lane, okay? But here's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen this time. We're not going to have Todd McShay lighting up a cigar with 3 minutes left in the game on national TV circa 2019, 18, whenever that was. Okay, but there's going to be a lot of smoke coming. Won't be coming from their cigarette section. You're going to see a bunch of orange throats out there with their orange and white lighting up some stoves in the middle of Bryant-Denny Stadium. I hope we rush the field. I really do. Arrest us all. I don't care. But I'm so tired of the negativity, the negative. That dude sucks. The C says K, and the word is suck.
Suck. No offense, Negative, but you do kind of suck. Not that I want to pile on.
I'm full-throated. I'm fully wooled. We are going to absolutely, as Titans Bill would say, tear their kingdom down.
Hey, Max, thanks, man. If we win tomorrow, I'm playing that back on Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction because that's hilarious. And Dave, you're a clown. To my friends at TLD Logistics, I love you. Thanks for serving us all these years and allowing us to serve you. For all your shipping needs, TLD Logistics. What a special day. It's been out here at Calhoun's on the river. We have had a tremendous crowd, even with so many people on their way, like Alan from WeShipFloors.com and the Frosties and all those folks that we miss out here. We'll see you guys out here maybe next week on the eve of the Kentucky game. Tomorrow night we'll have Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction as soon as the game ends. There is a 4,000-word blog up at tclub.team today. Matt Dixon consuming a good 2,000 words with his write-up. You want to read something on that Alabama matchup?
Mm-hmm.
Matt Dixon went off today in that blog. You got your orange throat up there posting. You got Brian Hartman playing the ponies. Brian Hartman said that Tim Banks' defense cost him a 7-0 week last week, Bino. He was going to go 7-0 last week, but Tim Banks decided to – I don't even know what we're doing on defense. I guess they call it a prevent defense. It prevented Brian from running the table. I want to thank lovely Laura for filling in today so Brian can enjoy the circus, which he's doing. I want to thank everybody that came out here today, and let's do that thing tomorrow in the spirit of the late, great Sunny Day and all the characters that have gone before. Bino, give me a final thought here.
Hey, everyone, enjoy the weekend. They're precious. Be safe. Beat Bama.
Love you. Thanks. Thank you, Calhouns. Boys and girls, children of all ages. It's week 8. College football's going so fast. I thought it was week 7. It's week 8. I put week 8 on something earlier, and Laura goes, or week 7 on something, and Laura goes, hey, dummy, it's week 8. It's college football season's flying by. I mean, and people are getting paid, and people are getting fired, and Kirk Cignetti, I tell you what, I guarantee you he got some bonus bets in his account tonight. Hopefully my friends at VIP Play can get their hands on Kurt Cignetti because he's got some serious bonus bets to play with now. Tony Basilio welcoming you in. It is week 8. This is Winners and Losers. The format here, the panel, whom I will introduce here momentarily, will have 3 college games, 1 NFL game, then we pick the best from the best, and then we go for it. The clone will be by later on. He'll share his picks. Blair's not with us for another week, and Brian Hartman sends his regards as he is in Las Wages. In the meantime, it's time to break it down scientifically, presented by our friends at Dos Equis. Also, shout out to our friends at VIP Play. We're going to go for Dos. We're going to do it with the greatest of ease, moving from right to left across your device, moving down on the right side of our screen. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Meet and greet the man they call Nashville Lee. When he's not breaking the film down, here's a man that will find the winners and stay away from the losers. Also, back from where he's tanned, rested, and ready, an extended weekend, if you will, Kyle Blackburn's back with us. And then the superstar himself in the house, the VFL FL, Will Heflin in the house, and then the artist formerly known as Mr. C. He now goes by the name of C. He thought Mr. C was too pretentious. So one night during a personal conversation with Joshy Boy, he changed it just to C. And here we are. All right, Lee, let me start with you. Film nut that you are. Grade this card for me, my brother.
Yeah, I take a break from watching the film tonight, so to jump on here. But yeah, I love this card. Like, I think this is really good. Like, a lot of really good games, obviously, in the SEC this weekend. But even it starts off at like noon on Saturday with like Washington and Michigan, which I think is really good. Notre Dame and USC is one of my favorite games every year. We've got that this weekend, and we finish the night with like BYU and Utah. Like, incredible game. Yeah, and a lot of good stuff in Group of Five too. So yeah, I think this is like an A card for sure.
You got every SEC team playing SEC teams. You got the Holy War that Lee's talking about late at night, which is always must-see TV. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in, who's out. It just does not matter. But this is a great amount of fun. It's going to be fun. All right, Lee, grade this card for me. Hit it, my friend.
Yeah, I think this is like a solid A. Like, this is one of my favorite weekends of the year. Obviously, third weekend in October with Tennessee and Bama, but Notre Dame and USC is one of my favorite games every year. We start the slate on Saturday morning with Washington and Michigan, which I think is an awesome game. We finish up late Saturday night with BYU, Utah. There's a lot of good Group of Five games, important Group of Five games too. So, yeah, I think this is a solid A. I think this is a great card.
And yeah, and we were talking with Mike Hugan, and today there's so many great matchups. And not only are there great matchups, there are great matchups across the board, which AC, even like some of the middling games on the card are excellent. Like, just hiding in plain sight. It's a very good weekend all the way around.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. It even starts tonight, Friday night. You got, I think Miami with maybe their toughest game left of the year against Louisville. But yeah, there's some other good games. A&M, Arkansas in the SEC. You got Texas Tech having played Arizona State. It's a really interesting card. Maybe not as, I think there's 4 games that have really big playoff implications for both teams, but even beyond that, there's some other good games that I think should make for a good weekend of football.
All right, Kyle, you're back for the crown, brother. After a week, rested and ready to roll, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Why don't you throw the first pick out for us here on Winners and Losers, presented by our friends at Dos Equis. Go for Dosey Dose. Kyle, what you got? And you're gonna go for 2 here, my brother. You're gonna go for 2.
Do you want 2 picks?
I want 2 picks out of you.
All right, so first pick.
Give me your first one. Give me your first one, and then we're going to talk it out, and then we'll do your second one. Go ahead.
Outstanding. Well, I'm looking to rebound because I didn't have a great day. Y'all told me I wasn't going to have a great day. Tony clowned me in my absence, as usual, as the Dean of Discord. So I'm hoping to get back on track. I'm going to go with A&M team total over 34.5 versus Arkansas. I just think even though it's an away game, I think A&M is going to score a bunch of points. You know, that's about what Tennessee scored, but I think we all agree Tennessee left at least 14, 17 points on the board last week when they played Arkansas. I think A&M's going to get there. I think they got a pretty good offense. And bottom line is, no matter how good their offense is, Arkansas's defense is really bad. So I think you could probably play the over on this if you wanted, because I do think Arkansas will score. But I'm going to go over 34.5 for the Aggies against Arkansas.
Any thoughts, guys? We saw that Arkansas team here in Knoxville last week, and Kyle likes A&M over 34.5. Any thoughts from the panel?
I like the over. Our team total for A&M's fine, but I like the over because I do think Arkansas will be able to score, but I think that maybe people are overselling a little bit Arkansas's defense, the improvement that supposedly they've made. I think it was more of an issue with Tennessee last week than any kind of improvement with Arkansas. Tennessee wasn't very crisp offensively, like Kyle said. I think that Arkansas is closer to the unit we saw against Notre Dame and Memphis and Ole Miss than what we saw last week as far as points allowed. I think they're still a really, really bad unit defensively.
Anybody else have this game on their radar, or a thought on Kyle's first play of the team total over 34.5 for Texas A&M?
Yeah, I like both of these. Both of these are fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't see very much resistance at all coming from Arkansas's defense against the A&M offense. Like, I think Concepcion and Craver and whoever A&M puts in at running back, their four-string running back, if they have to, if it's a blowout late, I think A&M's going to score on them. So I full game over to A&M team total over. Both sound good to me.
And Lee, I had people getting mad at me on our Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction, which, by the way, it's Midnight Madness tomorrow night for us. As soon as the Alabama game ends and way into the wee small hours of the morning. But I had people telling me that this Arkansas team was really a fine team and they're going to beat A&M. And, I'm just like, okay. I mean, what planet are you living on? Arkansas is not going to beat A&M tomorrow, and A&M's going to run all over them, Lee. They're going to run all over them.
I mean, tell me how Arkansas gets stops against that offense. I mean, if you're being realistic, like, unless A&M just doesn't show up or they turn the ball over a bazillion times, like, I don't see it happening. Like, I think A&M I think they're the best team in the SEC. Now, like I said, maybe it's a bad spot or something for them. They just don't show up, but that's what you're counting on, I think, if you're betting Arkansas here.
All right, Kyle, your second play. Well done.
I'm going to go other way with this. I'm going to go Kentucky under team total 14.5. They're hosting Texas. I think Stoops will run his usual try not to get blown out game plan. They just don't have a very good offense. Good thing is Texas is kind of suspect anyway, but has a great defense. And I do feel like if Texas gets a lead, they'll probably just try to sit on it and get out of there. I don't see them blowing anyone out. And that's kind of how Stoops does his thing. So I'm going to go Kentucky under 14.5 team total against Texas.
Thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I didn't play it, but I lean Texas to cover, so I like this play. 12.5 is just a weird number, and like Kyle said, it could be really slow, especially late if both coaches are trying to just get out of there. But I don't know that I necessarily see Kentucky putting together 3 full drives on this Texas defense.
Imagine guys going to a home football game, a sporting event, outside of Tennessee Titan fans, who has a team total in a football game of 14.5, guys?
Wisconsin is 7.5
Wisconsin
this
is
week.
7.5. Yeah. Beat me, Lee. You beat me to it.
I mean, what are we doing? Why are those coaches still employed? I'm sorry.
I think Fickle's employed just to take a beating so they don't have to pass that on to anybody else. But I could be wrong, but it's a good question.
All right, let me jump in here. Will Heflin, you are next on the mic.
Boy, do I have an ugly one for you, Tone. SEC at noon. Give me the home Vanderbilt Commodores minus the 2 against LSU.
Guys, I mean, when it opened, we all kind of thought, well, that's That is what the power ratings say. But damn it, it's weird looking at that, Lee, is it not? I mean, you're in Nashville with Kyle. That's got to be weird city for you guys to look at this. Just weird.
Yeah, Vandy as a favorite in the league is something, I don't know, we've seen like maybe once in like 5 years against Kentucky or something. Yeah, it's pretty odd. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten the underdog god Pavia as a dog, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. So yeah, I think Vandy finds a way to win. I've gone back and forth though on how to play, whether or not I want to play it or not. Yeah, it's just bringing yourself to play Vandy as a favorite is a little. It's just different. It's just a different role for them. But I do think they win the game.
Kyle,
that's my third play was actually playing the under at 48.5. And I was looking, and actually Matt was the one who had came up with a stat that in 8 SEC games since upsetting Bama last year, Vandy's averaging 18 points in SEC games. So I was kind of looking at how that would work number-wise. You could still even get them higher than that. And based on if the spread's correct, based on the power ratings, it would still fall under because that under was 48.5. So I played the under. I couldn't figure out what I want to do as far as if I want to take Vandy or not. Something tells me just to play LSU, but they're bad. But there's also a part of me, Lee understands this. It's kind of like when you're waiting on the other shoe to drop with Vanderbilt and their schedule. Been a little bit, they've gotten a little fortuitous, a few fortuitous bounces. So I don't know, but I played the under. I don't mind the play at -2 though. That's where it's supposed to be.
here's the simple truth. Vandy wins this game tomorrow. They will wake up on Sunday morning in tier 2 of playoff hopefuls heading into week 9. Now, I don't know if any of you had that on your Singo card. I certainly didn't. See, now that the game's here, what is your sense of this ball game? Any leans from you?
Yeah, I think Vandy will win the game. I think that LSU just is not. I don't see how LSU is going to be able to really control the ball in this game. I think Vandy's going to probably. I would expect, but just based on the matchup and the style of play from these teams, Vandy should be, 35, 40 minutes time of possession in this game. And I don't think LSU's offense is going to be able to do enough to win this game. I do think it'll be kind of an ugly game. I'm not sure how well Vandy will be able to finish drives against that LSU defense. LSU's a little bit beat up. Vandy coming off the bye. It's a pretty good spot at home, even with the 11 a.m. kick Nashville time. Like Lee said, you'd prefer to be able to get Vandy as an underdog in this spot, but even as a favorite, I think less than a field goal, I think Vandy's the side here. I just think Vandy has too many advantages matchup wise, and just as bad as LSU's become offensively, it's hard for me to see them winning this game.
And Nussmeier has a oblique injury. That's the inside word, and for some reason they won't shut him down. I don't. It's kind of like playing the Oklahoma quarterback. Why would you throw a guy out there that's ineffective? But go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, LSU can't run the ball.
No.
And, we'll leave the film to Lee, but you looking at their schedule, you talk about them entering into tier 2, right? They have A&M next week, and then they go to Tuscaloosa, and they've still got to go to Norman, Oklahoma. Like, if they have any realistic hope of getting in the playoffs, and for them it's probably going to have to be the best 9-3 resume, and that's on the table this year. You still have to win this game for that to even be a pipe dream. And so we'll see.
I'll tell you this, and we're going to get your second pick because you're going to go for Dos, presented by our friends at Dos Equis Lager Especial. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you dare enjoy your college football weekend without it. A Golden Pilsner-style beer made from the choice of hops, balanced composition, smooth, clean finish. Party guest always invited, never overstays his welcome. You will go for Dos. And look, a lager beer, they've got different varieties. Dos Equis Lager, they've got a Special, which is a pale lager. They've got the Ambar Special, which is a Vienna lager with a richer flavor. So there is a Dos Equis for you. Go for Dos. Will Heflin, go for Dos.
Okay, before I go for Dose, I got to correct myself. I was looking at LSU's. They're in the same boat, so the point actually applies to both of them.
Yeah.
But Vanderbilt's at home. Next week they have Missouri. Then they go to Texas, and obviously they have to go to Tennessee. I was like, why don't they play? I know they play Tennessee. What am I looking at? It's like looking at the wrong dang schedule. But
yeah,
the
we
point
knew
is the same. They
we
still
knew
have
where
to
you
win.
were. Here's the thing about LSU. LSU loses tomorrow. Brian Kelly is going to get fired. That job is going to open. That's what's going to happen.
He might. Okay. Going for Dose here. I'm going to take another SEC team at home. This one we're getting points. South Carolina 5.5 in Lee Bryce. They're playing Oklahoma. This could be really, really ugly. But South Carolina at home, they got a decent amount of money coming in, even though all the tickets are on Oklahoma.
Yep.
So we'll take the points. I mean, the SEC is so balanced. There's been so many one-score games. I would like to say 6.5, but it's sitting at 5.5 right now. That's fine. I think it's a really close game. Oklahoma's struggling on offense. We saw that last week. Yes, Texas is a way better defense than South Carolina is, but Sellers can make some plays and score a little bit more than Texas was probably able to do until they basically got handed a bunch of good drives from field position, and just Oklahoma not being able to move the ball at all. They were just able to wear down that OU defense because they were on the field the whole game. So anyways, long-winded way, wordy will way of saying South Carolina plus the points, 5.5.
Gordy Will into his house. Kyle, your thoughts on that play? Because, look, I don't know how Oklahoma musters anything when their quarterback can't grab the football.
Yeah, this seems like the zone for Frankie Jr., right? This is a Frankie Jr. special. I was going to ask Willie if there's a prop bet for successful special teams trick play on VIP play, because that would be an awesome prop. But yeah, I think he capped it perfectly, actually. And it's just these are the games that Frankie shines in, right? He doesn't want to play really graceful, really beautiful football. He wants to drag everything in the mud, and that's his style. Good, and they'll play defense. The crowd will be really excited. You know how it is there. Even if they're not very good, it's still a really tough place to play.
Hey, Lee, can you imagine taking that quarterback and sticking him on the field against that Texas defense last week? How silly that was. I had a better chance against them, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like Venables was like his job was like at stake, and that's their biggest rival, and they had no trust in Hawkins. But I mean, Mateer was even hesitant to run with the ball.
Yes.
And here's the thing: is I'm not even like, I don't even think that the hand injury was like, he was still doing Mateer stuff like playing YOLO ball, Superman ball. Like the interception before halftime was completely like, you can't do that. And he would have done that with a healthy hand and thrown that interception. And that's what really changed the whole game, I thought. Like, that's kind of what people didn't talk about with Mateer and some of the stuff he did last year, stuff that gets teams in trouble. So, but yeah, I don't think it was a good decision. Oklahoma hasn't scored more than 2 touchdowns in an SEC game since they joined the conference, by the way.
What? Say that again?
Yeah, they haven't scored more than 2 touchdowns in an SEC game, 2 offensive touchdowns in an SEC game yet.
What in the hell? See, is that true?
Yeah, I mean, 7 days ago we had people acting like this team is the top 5 team in the country for some reason. I could not figure out what was going on when this team has one of the worst offenses in the league. I personally like the under here. I don't see really any way either of these teams can score on the other. I can't bet that South Carolina team last week. I don't know how many people were watching. It was right after the Tennessee game. They got 2 fumbles at the 1-yard line, scored 10 points. I mean, they're just a net disaster. Oklahoma, obviously, like Lee said, can't score. Mateer's banged up. I don't see how. I just don't know how South Carolina's going to score enough. That's what scares me. I do agree it's a good spot.
Yeah,
punt blocks and pick sixes. That's the only thing that will kill this under.
Yeah, that's South Carolina special teams beamer ball. That's the only way, because that Oklahoma defensive line. I mean, what are they gonna do to that South Carolina team? I mean, I don't know. This is gonna be a really ugly game. Oklahoma's obviously the better team here. Good spot for South Carolina. I would prefer the under just because I have so little faith in both offenses. Two really awful units.
See, give me your first play from the colleges, as it's winners and losers presented by our friends at Dos Equis. And shout out to VIP Play. And I'm going to let Willie tell you about what we've got coming up this weekend over at VIP Play. Go ahead, C.
I'm going to go to a Friday night game here. I've kind of been talking about this Louisville team for weeks. And this is we've gone against Miami a few times, and Florida State almost got in the back door against Mario, who's nobody's worse at closing games out and playing situational football than Mario. But this is a big coaching mismatch with Braum and Cristobal here. So I'm going to go with Louisville. I guess this is under 14 now. I think this is around 13 and a half. That's fine. This is Louisville off a bye here. Obviously, the big concern, like anybody Miami plays, is can you hold. Matt Dixon and I were talking about this one today. Can you hold up at the line of scrimmage against Miami? And Louisville, excuse me, their biggest weakness is their offensive line. That's a little bit of a concern, but they are healthier at running back. They've gotten some other guys back at some other positions. I think, this is something where I think Louisville can keep this close if they can just hold up front. But even if they don't, even if this gets away from them a little bit, Braum, I think, Braum against Cristobal down the stretch, the back door, you'll have a good chance of getting in the back door here at 13 and a half. So I think Louisville is probably the second best team in the league, in my opinion. I think Georgia Tech obviously finds a way to win games. They are getting some Virginia, all those teams, but Louisville is probably talent-wise and coach-wise number 2 in this league. And so this will be a tough game for Miami if Louisville's ready to go up front. And then, like I said, even if they're not, I do think we're going to get a Cristobal disaster at some point down the stretch. So this is a good spot for that, I think.
Panel, anybody have a thought? Louisville plus 13 with Miami. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah. So I've had this circled for a while for Louisville. It's like the one spot that I was, kind of interested in fading Miami. Braum as an underdog is always going to catch my eye in these kind of spots. My only worry is really like two things. Like, as good as Braum's record is against underdogs, he has had games in the past where he's severely outmatched and gotten hammered. There was like a game against Ohio State back in like 2017 where like I was on Purdue, I think it was 2017, and he got absolutely just smoked. Like, it wasn't even close. The other thing, I'm not a big Miller Moss fan. Like, he completely wilts under pressure, and that's the other thing that I hate. Like, the matchup going up against Bain and Messador on that Miami defensive line scares the hell out of me. But the spot's good. Braum is good in these spots. I haven't bet it. I would bet it would be Louisville if I had to. I really need 14. I have to have 14 before I can personally do it.
Interesting. Anybody else have a thought on C's first play? All right, let's move along. C, give me play number 2 here. As he goes for Dos, presented by our friends at Dos Equis. You can win beer for a year. Go over to dosequis.com and learn more. Go ahead, C.
I'm going to go to the Tennessee-Alabama game. I'm going to go to the over here. I think that, and Blee's kind of talked about this, I know, but these Bama games have slowed down these last couple weeks, and the unders have hit against both Mizzou and Vandy. But I think in this game, this is a Tennessee team that was able to get in a shootout with a very, very, very mediocre Georgia team. They get I think they're 5-1 to the over in these games.
Yep.
This Tennessee defense is really bad. It's with McCoy and Gibson both out, and they're not coming back, as we know. This is a game I don't know how much we need to break down. It's been broken down so much, but I don't think that this number could get high enough for me. I think Bama will win this game. It would be probably Bama or nothing if I was playing the spread. Even though Bama's been playing some close games, I think the Tennessee on the road here, it's going to be a tough spot for Tennessee to win. I just don't see Tennessee slowing down Ty Simpson at all. This is a team, like we said, they made Gunnar Stockton look like a really good quarterback. They made Chapin kind of look competent.
Yeah.
UAB went up and down the field on him.
Yeah.
Even that Syracuse game, I know Syracuse has still had
Angeli
in that game. Yeah. Yep. But they got into the mid-20s against Tennessee. There's really no resistance from Tennessee. I know Tennessee's only hope of stopping these guys, just like everybody's getting, turnovers. getting some pressure on the quarterback. Ty Simpson has shown he can stand in against pressure. We saw it against Missouri last week.
Yeah.
He had the one fumble, but he's making big time throws, and there's going to be guys wide open down the field against this Tennessee secondary. And then on the other side, I do think Tennessee will be able to move the ball. I don't think this Alabama defense in the back end is nearly as good as maybe the numbers indicate. They've been playing teams that can't throw the ball at all. I mean, what we saw from Mizzou last week, and even Pavia, I think Tennessee's a lot better in that aspect of the game than either of those two teams. So I do think we're finally going to be able to get a team that's going to be able to throw the ball in the Bama secondary, and I also think Tennessee defensively is probably worse than both Vandy and Mizzou. So we're going to go back to kind of something that Lee's been talking about the last couple weeks, these Bama overs. I think with this Tennessee defense and Tennessee offense, I think we're going to get over the number here.
What's the number you're looking at there, C?
I think what is that right now on VIP play?
Willie, what you got?
It's
What's the number, Willie?
Let's see. I'll look it up right now.
58.
58.
58.5, yeah.
I second that emotion. If Tennessee doesn't tighten it up, they'll get 40 scored on them tomorrow. Tennessee's got Tennessee's got to start doing little things well on defense, or they could get hammered tomorrow. They really could. I don't think they will, but they better tighten up their defense.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath. I feel like kind of at this point in the season, it just kind of is what it is. Like, you're just getting it lined up right, and, like, the communication seems to be off. Like, they're looking around, like, when the ball's snapped, like, they don't have all their heads facing. It's kind of concerning.
It's tough to watch.
I just don't see it. And even when they are lined up correctly in the right place, they take bad angles and they don't tackle well.
Yeah.
So, I have a hard time seeing Tennessee slowing Bama down in this game. So, I mean, I've touted Bama overs the last 2 weeks and gotten burned on both of them. I still think they were kind of the right sides, but they didn't get home, is what it is. So, I like the over more than I like the side where this number is at right now currently.
Lee, give me your first play from the colleges. The C has Louisville plus 13.5 with Miami, and then the UT Bama over 48.5. He says, give it to me all day long. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, go to Big Ten. Obviously, this game nobody's really probably going to want to watch, and that's fine. But the first bet I made this week was Purdue plus 3.5 against Northwestern. This is probably 3 now everywhere, which is fine as long as you're getting 3. Yeah, I just think this is a great spot to go against Northwestern. They're coming off of an outright win as a 22-point dog against Penn State. Now they're coming home to play Purdue. Not very much of a home field advantage where they play. I give them about 1 point for home field. Purdue's been pretty unlucky. They outgained Minnesota by over 200 yards last week, lost on a pick 6 at the end of the game. The week before against Illinois, they went toe-to-toe with Illinois, like yardage-wise. I mean, put up like 450 yards on them. They scored 30 against Notre Dame. Like, Odom is itching to get a Big Ten win. I think he knows he can get this one. I've got Purdue power ranked on a neutral, like almost 3 points better than Northwestern, actually. So I'm showing a pretty nice edge here with this number. I think the spot favors Purdue. I think Odom gets his first Big Ten win. Yeah, I like Purdue plus 3. I like this quite a bit.
I like the thought, too, because bad teams have trouble. It's kind of like why we played UCLA last week. Bad teams a lot of times have trouble handling any kind of success. We saw that here in Knoxville when the Vols were bad. It's just sort of a good axiom to follow. Anybody else have this game on our radar before we get Lee's go for Dose second pick here? All right, Lee, go ahead. Second pick.
All right, so I guess I've got to get an over. I've been giving out a lot of over, so not going to give out the Air Force over. That should be a given by now, since they're since they're the best team in the country, at least offensively. They should be the national champion. But Florida Atlantic and USF is the highest total of the year so far. It got bumped up against Dade, is up to 73. That's fine. I would play this up to like 78. Like, this is going to get blown out of the freaking water, man. Like, these are the 2 fastest-paced teams in the country. FAU is number 1 in pace, like 18 seconds per play. That's number 2. FAU has no defense. They're not going to stop USF, like, at all. USF's going to score pretty much every time they have the ball. They're at home. USF scored 63 last week against North Texas, and that includes a turnover in the red zone, and they sat on the ball the last, like, 8 minutes of the game because it was a blowout. And they scored 63. They're going to get I think they're probably going to get into the 60s again in this game. And FAU's got a pretty nice offense with Kitley running that thing. Like, they're going to score. I think they can get into the 3 easily here. So, yeah, I think this flies through 73. Like, there's a reason why this is set so high. Yeah, this is like my kind of game. So yeah, give me a boatload of points. I think this thing's gonna wind up closer to in the 90s. So.
All right, let's check in. Let's check in with the. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Lee playing a really high over. That would make me nervous just to sit there and watch that. Anybody else going to bite on that? Go ahead, C.
I was going to say, I think those, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think those super high overs are generally pretty profitable. Like, just like kind of the low unders typically when something looks super high, or then like when you get those unders in the low 30s,
yeah,
and those overs in the 70s, I think historically those are 60+%. I don't have the exact numbers. Lee could probably.
The books don't know how to, like, the models and like the ratings don't know how to properly put a number on it when you get teams like this that play so fast. Like, there's very good likelihood you're going to get at least 175 plays in this game, which is the models just don't really know what to do with that. So they just kind of put a number out there. Of course, it's higher, and some people are just going to bet the under just because it's so high. So yeah, I just, in all actuality, I think this is low, like with these two teams. So.
All right, let's go ahead and see what the clone has. And here's his first play from the colleges.
Well, hello, welcome in. It's that time again for this week's Vince Ferrari's pick. And I'm going to kind of go off of the caller Rusty's take this week here on the Basilio platform, where I think Tennessee has had a great week of practice, and I would be stunned if they don't show up and play at a much higher clip than what they showed against Arkansas. But I do like Tennessee specifically first half over team total 12.5 points. You can get that right now for about $1.25, 125 minus 130 range. Again, Tennessee over 12.5 on their team total first half. Close game first half, and I do feel like Alabama pulls away late. Good luck.
Okay, what about it, guys? Team total 12.5 for the Vols. What do y'all think? Anybody?
I mean, that's in line with C's over. It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
What's the laughter about? I don't get the laughter. Are you guys trying to crack here? All right, one more from the clone, then we go back to Kyle.
That's right. Welcome back to another week of college football. I'm the Juke. I've got you a lock this week, plus a bonus bet. Take Duke. That's right. Juke likes Duke. Small money line play. For bonus play, some of your books are taking winning margin by the bands of 10, 1 to 10, Duke to win, between 1 and 10 points, close game, Duke wins at home by a field goal or a touchdown. You can get that for plus 250. Who doesn't love making money?
Guys, who doesn't love making money? Do any of you love making money?
My money is great, Tom. 1 to 10 bands are especially.
The 1 to 10 band's the first time we've had a 1 to 10 band bet, I think.
Cloney! Hey, Cloney, stick to voices. All right, Kyle. Cloney, let the pros pick, and you stick to doing voices, okay, and comedy. Kyle, we're back to you. Go for Trace, bro, from the colleges.
So my third play that I was sure of was the Vandy LSU under.
Okay, that was good. Okay, yeah, you're good. Okay. You want to do one more, or are you good?
Yeah. So this one you guys can kick around because I think it's interesting. Those of you that are that do this even way more than I do. I'm going to go under on Clemson's team total against SMU, and this is purely an injury play. We're not really sure what's going to happen with Cade Klubnik yet. He had an ankle injury, I think, in the last game in the third quarter. but their injury list already is pretty long, which is also kind of a sign that those dudes have checked out maybe on Dabo this season. We've talked about that before. So I think regardless of whether he plays and he's limited or he's out, it was under 29 on Clemson's team total.
All right. Under 29 Clemson team total. You guys have any thoughts there? Anybody? All right, let's move along. Go ahead, Willie. You were going to say something? Or you're up
I was just
next?
going to say they scored a lot the last 2 weeks, but it was against two horrible defenses. So
No doubt. And in that league, there are some rough watches in that league. ACC football is an acquired taste, kind of like the Clones comedy. Will, give me play number 3. Go ahead.
Well, I gave out 2 hold your nose type of plays already in the go for dose. So the third one will be a little bit more easy to swallow. It's JMU at home, short home favorite against Old Dominion, probably the 2 best teams in the Fun Belt. But JMU just knows how to win. They're at home. It's probably the winner gets the 1 seed, or the winner's locked up to make that conference championship game. And still in the conversation for that G5 playoff spot. I think it's probably going to be the Memphis USF champion just because of their resumes. But in the G5, you just don't know how that stuff's going to shake out. So you might as well win your league and see what happens. So I like this game. I like JMU at home.
Hey, James Madison's got a legitimate football program. There's no doubt about that. Signetti left it in good hands, and it continues to burn up there at James Madison, about 5 hours up the road from where we are here in Knoxville. Anybody else got a little James Madison this week with Old Dominion?
I'm actually opposite. I like Old Dom here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they got caught looking ahead last week and took a really bad loss to Marshall.
Okay.
These are the 2 best teams in the Sun Belt, and this is going to decide that conference. So, I mean, I think you get a massive bounce back here from Old Dom. I think they're extremely focused, and I think offensively Old Dom's so much better than James Madison. Like, this James Madison offense they can't throw the ball. It's extremely worrisome. But they're at home. I mean, Will's right. Like, they've shown they know how to win games, and the loss last week was a little bit worrisome. The fact that this line is basically a pick 'em is kind of head scratching. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I've kind of ridden Old Dom a lot this year. I'm gonna back them this week.
Hey, yeah, a couple years ago, man, I loved Signetti. Now, I didn't know he would do what he did, but he made me a lot of money a couple years ago. Will, what is that number with James Madison? What do you have it at?
Uno
Punto.
It's a pick 'em.
So they're -1.
Yeah.
In their building. C, play number 3 from the Colleges.
Sorry, get myself unmuted there. I'm going to go with a team that we've talked a lot about. We've messaged a lot about in our little group message here. I think Lee talked about him earlier. Air Force is playing Wyoming this week. This game is at Wyoming. So we're getting a little bit of a discount here on it. This Air Force offense, like Lee said, is absolutely dynamite. They played that UNLV team last week, and I was watching that almost as close as I was to the Tennessee game. It's very entertaining if you guys haven't seen this Air Force team. They're just a machine. I think that I guess this number's at 4. Is that right, Will?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine. I think Air Force is much better. Obviously, it's a little scary relying on this Air Force defense. I don't see Wyoming getting any stops in this game. I mean, the Air Force offense is explosive. They're going to score quick. They're going to score often. Obviously, they're probably going to give up a ton of points in this game. But I think Air Force will get enough stops. Wyoming's just not very good. We're the numbers so low here just because of how bad Air Force's defense is. But even Wyoming or even Air Force's defense, I think, can get a few stops against Wyoming, and their offense will do enough to kind of stretch this out. I don't think there's much of a home field advantage here. I know Wyoming had the game. Even Wyoming played the game with all the ice and all the snow, all that, whatever it was a couple weeks ago. It's not a tough place to play. Wyoming's not very well coached, so I'm going to ride Air Force here and hope that they can score enough to make that terrible defense irrelevant.
Anybody else have this game on their radar? Should be entertaining, no doubt. And by the way, I love Wyoming's uniforms, and that stadium they play in's pretty next level as well from watchability perspective. Anybody else? All right, let's move along. Lee, give us your third play from the college AS.
Yeah, Air Force overs are automatic. There's like 2 elite units in college football. It's Ohio State's defense and then Air Force's offense. National championship offense. But, very last game of the day on Saturday, Florida State going to Stanford. For some reason, they're laying 18 points. Stanford's not any good, but neither is Florida State. They don't give a damn about this game. Florida State hasn't won like a road conference game since like 2023, I think, something like that. Yeah, I'm on Stanford plus 18 and some Stanford money line plus 700, something like that.
How about that, guys? What has gone wrong at Florida State, guys, through y'all's eyes? And are they done losing yet?
They got a bad quarterback, an overrated quarterback. I don't think it's very good. I think that Alabama game was a little bit of a fluke. They really got up for that, played well, and I think that this is just who they are. I just don't think this is very good. Not a very good team at all. So.
Anybody else have a thought on that play? Because 18 points gone across the country. That's pretty wild.
They just can't throw the ball. So unless they're ahead of the chains the whole day and just, rush for 200 plus, I don't see them running away from anybody. As bad as Stanford is, that's a hold your nose play, but they could win the game.
Yes, I agree with Lee. And the other thing you get, like Kyle was talking about, with the upper echelon of the ACC, whatever that means, but those guys are going to check out. Like when you build your team, especially at Florida State, on a lot of one-year wonders, we saw that last year. I mean, those teams say, see you, wouldn't want to be you to each other in the locker room. Those kids do. All right, let's go to the NFL. Before we do, Willie, tell me about the weekend over at VIP Play, because I'm cooking up an incredible bet that will be in the hopper by the time people hear this over at VIP Play. So go ahead, Willie. What we got coming up this weekend?
There you go. So this past week, last weekend, we ran a sweepstakes for $500 bonus bet. And the guy who won, super nice fella, Joshy Boy, not your Joshy Boy, but a different Joshy Boy in Knoxville. So that was cool to tell him he won. So we're running that back this weekend, either a $500 bonus bet or a tailgate food package. I think it's like $400 in value for any game of your choice the rest of the season. So that would be cool if tailgating's your thing. We're doing another longest odds contest. The winner last week was a 3-leg tight end touchdown parlay. It was like Waller, Ferguson, and somebody else I'm forgetting. But it was like almost plus 30 to 1, so like almost plus 3,000. So that was cool. Running that back, and then we'll have your special up there. Put a little boosty boost on that, and it'll be a good weekend. It's, we talked about the card being an A. I think it's an A bettability card. I think we may have had a couple watchabilities like that were a little bit more sexy, but this is just a phenomenal slate. Everybody's in conference. There's a lot of cool spots to bet on, some games we haven't even touched on. So it should be a fun weekend.
No question. I echo your sentiment entirely. And in fact, as the year goes along, the matchups are getting more and more succulent in terms of what's going to happen and interesting potential spots for teams. And take the Alabama-Tennessee game tomorrow. Alabama's playing their 4th consecutive game against high-caliber competition. Do they crack? Who knows? Moving along. All right, so let's go back to the top. Kyle, your first play from the NFL.
So I think I'll know what I'm going to do. I am going to fade the Titans.
But
So
they're under new tutelage, though.
Well, I mean, Lee can come coach the team, and they'd be better. So any of us can. They ought to do open auditions. I'm going to go with Pat's money line and under on the total 42.5. It's a plus 125. I like to go through VIP play and find one of those combos, and I like that one.
All right, so the Pats on the money line and the under. Is that what you said?
Correct.
All right. Next up is, let's see here, Will Heflin from the NFL.
I'm gonna defer because I got to go first last week, and everybody wanted to give out the Chiefs, and I stole it. So
all right,
come back around to me.
See, you're next.
C's going to take mine.
I've got two that I'm debating between. I'm going to go with the Vikings.
I told you. I knew it. I was like
That's
minus
why I
10,000.
deferred,
So was giving out the Vikings minus 10,000.
This Eagles team is a joke. The Vikings are let's see, the numbers. They're down to 1.5 here at home against the Eagles. I just can't stop. I can't get enough of fading this fraudulent Eagles team.
I don't understand. I mean, in my presence, can you figure out other words to use? I mean, do we have to say the word fraudulent?
I mean, I said it a few weeks ago. This team's headed down that path that team 2 years ago was on, that lost all those games in a row after that fraudulent start. And last year they were a legitimate team. They won the Super Bowl. We never said a bad word about them.
I'm glad we were legitimate last year. Thanks.
You got your Super Bowl, but now we're back to Jalen Hurts, who's playing tight end, playing quarterback here, and they're pretending he's Patrick Mahomes with their play calling. This defense is shaky. I don't really understand why they're favored in this game in Minnesota. I don't know what else to even say. This is a kind of a joke of a team, and so we'll take the Vikings getting points at home against Jalen Hurts pretending to play quarterback, cosplaying as a quarterback, as some would say.
Cosplaying is a great term when it applies. Do Lee, you want to pile on as well?
Yeah,
on my birds.
Yeah, definitely. This line makes no sense. Why I have no idea why the Eagles are favored.
You guys are ridiculous. The Eagles are favored because they've got a way about them, Billy Joel. What do you mean, why are they favored?
I don't know what way that is, but yeah, I mean, the Vikings. Okay, first of all, the Eagles are in desperate need of a bye week. I think they got it the week after this to get some things reset, to figure out this offense. That offense is an absolute joke right now. They can't do anything. Vikings are coming off of a bye week with one of the best coaching staffs in the league with O'Connell and Flores. They're going to have the best game plan possible ready for this. The matchup here is terrible for Philadelphia. Hurts against, because I watch film, Hurts against cover 2 and against zone is negative 0.2 EPA points per play. He's bottom of the league versus cover 2, bottom of the league versus zone. And that's all that the Vikings are going to play. He's also awful against the blitz. Flores is going to dial it up against him. Now, look, we don't know who's playing quarterback. I don't know specifically for the Vikings, but there's really not much difference power rating-wise between Wentz and McCarthy. McCarthy has a little bit higher.
Wait a second. You guys think Carson Wentz going to beat the Eagles?
Carson Wentz, his numbers aren't great, but they're he's sitting around middle of the pack, 11 to 15th, and all the quarterback metrics. He's been serviceable. He's been fine. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between him and McCarthy. McCarthy probably has a higher ceiling, but yeah, I don't think it matters in this game. I just think the Eagles need that bye week coming up, Vikings coming off of a bye week.
Yeah.
I think it's a big-time coaching mismatch in this, scheme, matchup, everything favors the Vikings here. Plus you're catching points on one of the best home fields, in the league in Minnesota. Yeah, I love the Vikings this week.
Bo Nix and Jackson Dart. Haven't Bo Nix and Jackson Dart beat this team the last 2 weeks?
The Giants lit them up, man. The Giants destroyed them. The Eagles on defense are missing Jalen Carter on the defensive line. Quinyon Mitchell's also gone, so they're basically down to Ringo and Adoree Jackson trying to cover those receivers for the Vikings. Good luck with that.
Well, we got Ringo Starr at safety, so here's the thing. To my buddy Jack Fritz, who's an afternoon host in Philadelphia, if Carson Wentz beats them, Lee, can you imagine? He just has to open the phones for 5 days. People up there are going to freak out if that happens, guys.
And it's a bye week. It's a bye week to dwell on it.
So, Jack Fritz, we wish you well. And Jack Fritz, in a lot of ways, I cheer for the Eagles, But I'm cheering for good radio for you, brother. We might have to make that a power play and root on old Carson Wentz and his broken wing. Do we have anything else? Will, do you have anything else for us? Because you were going to give something out earlier. Is that what you're going to give out?
You know, you can't say I've never done anything for you because I didn't pile on, and I knew exactly where that was going, Tony.
You knew they were going to do that to me?
I for some reason, we differ on a lot of, there's so many more college games, but I knew they were going to the Vikings. I'll pivot a little bit. It must be hold your nose week because I'm on the Brownies. I don't know why we have yet to see Mike McDaniel's last game in Miami, but he's still there. This could be the one. But Dylan Gabriel's third start, he hasn't been great, but he's played two tough defenses.
Yeah.
He should get a little more time in the pocket to work this week, maybe distribute the football a little bit because they've got some guys, and it could be a Judkins breakout game. And then I really do fear for the health of Tua going up against this D-line. So the Brownies are short favorites. You don't get that a lot, but I'm kind of the guy who jumps on a bad team being a favorite when they are because it's just kind of that spot. So
Jimmy Haslam's done a nice job. Let's go through the picks. I mean that
real quick, Tone. I was
Yeah.
just going to say that that would have been the other play I was going to give out was the Browns.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Wow.
Yeah, like, there's a good chance like there's going to be like 50-mile-an-hour winds. That's what they're calling for now in that game. I did just want to mention that because there is going to be weather impacting college games and professional games this weekend, especially around the Midwest, upper Midwest sort of area. Particularly wind is the main thing I look at with weather. Some rain, like Notre Dame USC game potentially, and some other games. But yeah, in that Browns game, it's pretty much going to be who can run the ball because of the wind factor there, which I think definitely favors the Browns big time. And yeah, I don't know why Mike McDaniel still has a job. I mean, he's over there on the sideline, like eating like a handful of gummies and vaping the whole time, like completely stoned out of his mind. But yeah,
let's go, man. Handful of gummies, vaping. May I suggest to him some Dos Equis? The next opportunity he gets, he looks like a guy that would. Let's see what kind that he would enjoy. I don't know. But Dos Equis Lager Especial absolutely has it going on. Make it a part of your football weekend. Here are our plays. Kyle likes A&M's over 34.5 at Arkansas. Kentucky under 14.5 with Texas in their building. Vanderbilt LSU team total or Vanderbilt LSU game total under 48.5 and under 29 with the Clemson team total. Will likes Vandy -2 with LSU. South Carolina plus 5.5 versus Arkansas. James Madison -1 versus Old Dominion. C likes Louisville plus 13.5 with Miami. Bama over 48.5.
58.5, unfortunately.
Bama UT over 58.5 in that game. I put 48.5. You know me, I'm into the details. Air Force -4 at Wyoming. Lee likes Purdue +3 versus Northwestern after their success last week. They won't be able to handle it. Northwestern won't. He likes Florida Atlantic's USF over. He likes that game to go over 73. He likes Stanford +18 versus Florida State in some late night, bleary-eyed, where we will be tomorrow night. I'll no doubt be watching that game as we do Garzalaw fifth quarter fan reaction. From the NFL, Kyle says take the Pats money line and the under the game with the Titans. I don't know if they're charging admission to that or not. That's to be determined. C likes and Lee likes the Vikings +1.5 against my Eagles. I think that's going to be a power play with the unanimity that occurred around here. And then Will, for giggles, likes Cleveland -1 versus the Miami Dolphins. All right, guys, what are the three plays? Will, you did well last week. We went 2-1. You picked them out, Willie, but what are we going to do this week? We'll make the Eagles one of them because you guys are urinating me off. So we'll make
the Eagles opponent.
Yeah, the Vikings plus 1.5 will be one of them.
+2. But yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
From the colleges, which few did we agree on the most? I'm trying to think back. I mean, the Air Force overs have treated us well.
All right.
And I think they're at home against Wyoming.
Okay. You guys want to do that? The Air Force, Wyoming, Air Force -4?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
And then let's pick an SEC one. We had several SEC games. Which SEC game did we like the most?
I like the Oklahoma, South Carolina under.
OU, South Carolina under.
Give me the number there. Since that was in play.
It's 43.5, I think. Let me get a look.
All right. You good at 43.5 there, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, it's below a key of 45, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 43 now is fine.
All right.
I completely pulled that out of my. Okay, yeah, 43.5.
Wow, that's impressive. All right. Anything else? Do we have any like kickball? See you're betting on or golf? Lee, any special plays from the cage this weekend?
Yeah, I got a pretty decent roll going with these main events. UFC is in Canada this weekend.
Yep.
So a lot of Canadian fighters. The card's not that great because the Canadian fighters just aren't that good. But the main event is not Canadian fighters. It's René de Ridder. He is going up against Kyle. Crap, why am I forgetting his name? Why did I want to say Kyle Allen? It is